Good evening. Okay, first thing I'd like to do is apologize to all of you for being late and trying to get things together here at the last minute. But I want to say thank you for all of you for being here. For whatever reason you are here, you are going to be recognized. Congratulations in advance. And you are here as a company for one of their employees to be recognized. I hope you can celebrate tonight and continue celebrating all those recognitions. And we are here to get information or to do a report or any other reason. We appreciate your attendance and your interest in the business of the school district and the Board of Education. We're truly excited of the things that are happening here. You're going to see a lot of great information this evening. I also want to thank all the members of staff that are here. Thank you for joining us. And thank you to the superintendent, his cabinet, and the entire team for putting this meeting together. And of course, to my colleagues, thank you for all your work and all the conversations we had. It's really, really positive. And then lastly, we have a student here. Thank you for being here this evening. She's going to help us through the process. Thank you, Claudia, and thank you to the people that are in the little room there. Serene Manuel. Yes, sir. I have her name here, so. But I'm going to introduce her later anyway. So thank you. Thank you. So again, thank you for being here. So with that, the Board of Education reconvenes into open session at 7:17 p.m. Let's see. Can I have roll call, please?
Serene Manuel, student intern.
Daryl Peden, present.
Susan Smith, present.
Marcia Locke, present.
C.J. Johnson, present.
Jesus Holguin, present.
Martin Rex Kedzior, present.
Robert Verdi, present.
Susanna Lopez, present.
Maribel Maddox, present.
Thank you. Earlier this evening, the Board of Education opened the meeting and convened into closed session to discuss board deliberation regarding student discipline cases, public employee employment appointment, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, non-re-elects, conference with labor negotiator, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, and settlement of claims. There's nothing to report out of closed session, but we need to take a vote on an item so that we can do some introductions. So I'm going to ask my colleagues if we can take.
Do the pledge first and the inspiration, then do that.
Okay. All right. So now I got lost now. Where am I here? Okay. So we're going to do the pledge. So our student, Serene Manuel, is going to help us with the pledge and the inspiration. And I would ask everybody to please remain standing for the pledge and for the inspiration.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we hear the inspiration from our student, I'd like to take a few seconds, since we're all standing, and I'd like to ask all of you to join me in honoring 31 people that lost their lives over the weekend as a result of tragic acts of violence. People, innocent people that lost their lives, and the families that are suffering at this time. So I would like us to take a moment of silence in their honor, in their memory, and let's keep them in our prayers and in our thoughts. Thank you. Now we have the inspiration, please.
Life's persistent and most urgent question is, what are you doing for others? By Martin Luther King, Jr.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now, is it okay, Dr. Kitzert, to do it now? So now I'm going to ask my colleagues if we can take an item from the consent agenda, that is item F3A1. That is the managerial personnel report. And I'd like to take a separate vote on that particular item, F3A1, so that we can do some introductions. So I need a motion and a second to approve that item.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve that item, please.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peyton?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Holguin?
Aye, 5 ayes. Okay, so with that, I'm going to ask Dr. Verdi to help us with the introductions, some introductions. And so I'm going to say, before you start calling the names, I'm going to say, there's going to be several people called. What I'm going to ask is, when you hear your name, please come forward to the microphone, introduce yourself, and say a few words. And then if you have somebody with you, family, friend, whoever you want to recognize or acknowledge with you, please do so at that time, all right? So, Dr. Verdi, please.
Thank you, Mr. Holguin. With that board action tonight, the board is excited to present 13 new certificated management personnel, some of whom have been members of our team, our family here in Moreno Valley already for a number of years in other positions, and some new members to the family that are joining us tonight officially. So we want to congratulate and recognize those individuals, as Mr. Holguin stated. First, I'd like to introduce to you all tonight the new Assistant Administrator of Instructional Improvement and Academic Coaching for Sunnymead Middle School, Mr. Kenneth Carson.
Good evening. I was hoping I wasn't first so I could see how the precedent was set. My name is Ken Carson. I have been a teacher for 18 years, an administrator for 5, 3 at the junior high level, 2 at the elementary level, and I'm very excited to return to the middle school level at Sunnymead Middle School. I've brought most of my family with me tonight. Would you please stand up? On the right, my daughter Emma, who'll be starting college in a couple weeks. My son Benicio, jump up and down, bud, so people can see you. And then my amazing wife, Marissa. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I'll sit down if you don't have any questions.
Thank you. Welcome.
Next up, we'd like to congratulate on her new position with us in the district, the new assistant principal at Mountain View Middle School, Amanda Fernandez.
Hi, good evening. I'm not as good as you, and you did that all off the cuff, so good for you. Good evening. As a former Midland Thunderbird, Vista Heights Wildcat, Canyon Springs Cougar, and a proud product of Moreno Valley Unified School District, I'm honored to have been given the opportunity to serve our students, families, and staff of Moreno Valley as an assistant principal. I'm humbly transitioning as an honorable knight to a proud Panther as I join the Mountain View Middle School team. But I cannot express how lucky I was to have had so many exceptional folks to walk alongside as we did really important work for kids. I sincerely thank our superintendent, Dr. Katsiora, the cabinet, the Board of Education for this opportunity. My sweet family is here as well. In the back, they're a huge part of my why, and I'm really grateful and proud that they're here. Ava, Evan, you want to stand up? Ava's my daughter. She's starting her junior year at Heritage High School. That's Evan. He's starting middle school, so pray for me. And then my husband's back there, Chris. So thank you very much for having me.
Our new assistant principal at Vista Heights Middle School, Ms. Rosario Grajeda.
Good evening. I'd like to begin by thanking our Board of Education and our cabinet for this wonderful opportunity. Mr. Hassan, I would also like to thank you for this opportunity, and I am really excited and look forward to working alongside you and alongside with you and continue to learn from you, and just know that I'm here to support you in any way. And to my family, I just want to thank you guys for always understanding the importance of what my profession means to me, and for your continuous help and support and patience more than anything. Thank you.
Congratulations. So at Valley View High School, we are introducing a new Assistant Administrator of Instructional Improvement and Academic Coaching for that high school, and that's Stacy Lerma.
I apologize, I'm a little more than I thought I was going to be. It has been my pleasure to call Moreno Valley Unified School District my home since 2005. I have been at Vista Heights Middle School, I've been at Badger Springs, I've been at Valley View, and I'm very excited to take on this new role there. I want to thank the board, I want to thank Dr. Kedziora, I want to thank Cabinet for this wonderful opportunity. I want to thank Dr. Buster, who is my Director of Professional Development and Digital Learning, for the wonderful mentor that she has been. And I'm so excited to work with Mrs. Johnson, both Chris's, Mr. Byers and Ms. Rivas and Mr. Marquez in this new role, and our wonderful teachers and staff, and I'm just so very excited. With me tonight, my husband was not able to be here, he is at work, so my wonderful mother drove out, and my sister, and my dear friends Jill and Tony as well. And just thank you guys so much for this opportunity.
For Chaparral Hills Elementary School, it's my pleasure to introduce you to their new assistant principal, Mr. Tony Montano.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to start by thanking the board and the cabinet for this opportunity. I also want to thank Mr. Hassan, who's been my principal for the last 11, 12 years. I started in this district as a long-term assistant at Hendrick Ranch Elementary in '99, I think it was, for my wife, who also teaches at Ramona. Who's my wife? Can you please stand, Deborah? I just want to really say that I'm really glad to have this opportunity, and I hope I am able to continue making the impact that I am with kids. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Coming forward to be introduced as the brand new principal at La Jolla Elementary School, Dr. Nicole Moshiri.
Good evening, everyone. I did not have a speech prepared. I do want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm here with my husband, my mother, my soon-to-be junior daughter at Valley View. You guys that saw, there's your new assistant principal over there. My son who's at Vista Heights, you have a new assistant principal there too. So I just want to thank everyone for this opportunity. I've been with the district for, well, this is my 17th year actually with the district. Before that, I was in 2 other districts, but this I've called my home for the longest time. And it's been wonderful. It's a family here. And I just want to say thank you again. Thank you.
Sunny Meadows Elementary, new principal, Mr. Ryan Palomino.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's a great honor to be serving this wonderful district of Moreno Valley. Also, like a man in the back, grew up here, went to Midland Elementary School, started in kindergarten all the way through middle and high school. So it's definitely a privilege to serve this community and the students here. So I want to do it justice. So that's my plan. So I want to thank the cabinet, the board, and Dr. Kedziora. Also, I want to acknowledge my wife. Please stand up, Angie. She's my rock. So with that, I want to thank you, and it will be an honor to serve this community and the students of Sunny Meadows.
Is your dad here?
I reminded my mom she was supposed to tell him, but no. They're like, you'll be fine.
And I was upstairs bragging about you. I can't believe that.
All right, thank you very much.
I'm happy to introduce the team to a new member of Moreno Valley's team, the new executive director for our SELPA, Mr. Jason Ramirez.
Good evening. Let me first introduce you to my wife. My wife, Allison Ramirez. We've been married for over 20 years. You can clap for her. Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, over 20 years of marriage right there. And this is my son, Lane. He's 11 years old. He's in 6th grade at Wilson Elementary. And I have two very busy daughters. My oldest is a student at UC Riverside, and my other daughter, who is performing tonight, is 15 years old and in high school, going to be a sophomore. So yeah, I know you guys want to sit down, so I just want to make sure you guys met them first. Dr. Kedziora, President Hogan, Cabinet, and esteemed board members, I just wanted to personally thank you so much for selecting me as Executive Director of SELPA. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of serving the staff, the students, and the parents, and everybody here for Moreno Valley School District. And I can't wait to start. I don't know when my start date is yet, but I can't wait. And thank you so much again for the opportunity.
Back over to Vista Heights Middle School and Assistant Principal Hillary Reynolds.
Good evening. I would just like to say thank you so much for this opportunity, for entrusting me with our amazing students here at Moreno Valley Unified School District. I'm getting emotional too now. Since my very first year here at Moreno Valley, I've had so many amazing mentors, Dr. Kedziora, Mr. Barney, Mr. Hassan. Thank you so much for shaping me into who I am today. I truly appreciate it. Thank you to my amazing husband. Can you stand up really quick? For supporting me and taking on a lot of work at home so that I can pursue my passion as well. Thank you to my mom, because she's one of the main reasons I am who I am today, and my dad in the back there. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so excited to get started with this work and serve our community even more. Thank you.
For Vista Del Lago High School, we have a new assistant principal there. That must have been the principal. A new assistant principal for Vista Del Lago High School. We are happy to welcome to our team Mr. Anthony Rice.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank the board. I want to thank Dr. Kedziora for this wonderful opportunity. This is my 20th year in education, 11 years as a site administrator. At this time, I want to introduce my family. I want to introduce my lovely wife of 23 years, my son, Anthony Rice, Jr., my mother, Lillian Rice, and again, my mother-in-law, Mrs. Madell. And again, I just want to thank the board for this wonderful opportunity, and I'm just excited for this new journey in my life. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
For Armada Elementary, new assistant principal Crystal Thomas.
Thank you, Cabinet. Thank you, Board. It's truly an honor to serve in the community that raised me, that made me who I am today. Without any of you, without the educators of this community, I would not be where I am today. My family, my beautiful family over there, would not have the privileges that we have. That's my husband Edgar there. My daughter Isabella, she's a freshman in college right now. My son Dominic, he's a 7th grader, so he knows everything though. And my cousin, my friends, my colleagues, my friend Daniel, everybody has contributed to the success, and I hope to be able to contribute to our community's success and our students' success as well as they have done for me. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, board. Thank you, cabinet. I'm truly honored and grateful to be here. Thank you.
Joining our team as a coordinator in the Accountability and Assessment Department, Mr. Peter Whitmore.
Good evening, distinguished board members, cabinet, Dr. Kedziora, everybody, and my family in the back. I'm Peter, and it is my honor to be here and to get to join the Moreno Valley family. Just from what you have heard tonight, this is definitely a family, and I'm very fortunate to be part of it now. And I know when my start date is. It's tomorrow. In my career, I've taught in Hawthorne for many years, and also in Menifee, just up the freeway, or down the freeway, I guess it'd be. Instructional coach and site administrator, district administrator, and also worked with Illuminate and got to travel around the country to learn from and help districts help their educators. And 2 things about those roles. The first of which, I would not have been able to do any of that or be standing here if it was not for my lovely wife, Sonia, who's going to stand up right now, and we're all going to wave at her. And my 3 goobers are back there, too. So stand up, Diego. Stand up, Henry. Stand up, Samuel. So I love them very much. And the other thing I love, a thread that has really gone through each of those roles, is been my own personal why. My mission is to make educators' lives easier. And so hopefully I can, not hopefully, I am going to continue to do that here in Moreno Valley. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
And last but not least, also for Vista Del Lago High School, a new assistant administrator for instructional improvement and academic coaching, Angela Wolf.
Board President Holguin, and board members, Superintendent Kedziora, and cabinet members, it is my honor to accept this position with Moreno Valley Unified School District. I began my career here 24 years ago as a teacher. I was recruited out of New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, at a job fair, and I moved my family 800 miles west to start this new life out here. And unfortunately, due to family circumstances, or fortunately, I found a home in San Jacinto Unified for the last 21 years. But here I am, I find myself back in Moreno Valley, and I've always held a special place in my heart for Moreno Valley Unified, because I know that you're not only about the hard work, you're about the heart work as well. And I am ready to join those forces. Principal Swanson, I'm ready to join those forces, and I just can't wait to start the work for the students of Moreno Valley. I did bring some family and friends with me. I'll just ask them to wave. I've got Adrian, Viviana, and Andy with me. So they're back there. None of them wanted to stand up. They were already telling me at the end that, no, we don't want to stand up. So anyway, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I can't wait to start with you.
Thank you again to all the candidates and to their families. Thank you.
Should we give all of them another round of applause and welcome them to the school district? Okay, so the superintendent is asking if all those employees that were just recognized, can you all come forward so that we can get a picture with all of you together, please? Should we go down too?
Yeah, you should go down. We should go down. They're all here, and I don't want to miss this moment. Are y'all okay with that?
You already did it, so it's too late already to say no. Yes, I am.
I just think they're all here.
Well, no, because she was so emotional at the mic, you know what I mean? So I was like thinking of it because of that.
Everybody's gonna leave, Mr. Helgain.
Well, I think we were expecting that, right? We were expecting that, right?
Well, I'm sure you know.
Can I say bye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody. I thought you were interested in the board meeting.
I know. I said, oh my goodness, you know.
Can everybody come back,
I
please?
thought y'all were loving this place.
I thought people were interested in the information here.
Oh, you will. Oh, yeah.
Well, should we take them?
I was just waiting for them to leave. You want to take a break? I mean, it's up to you.
We gotta go back up.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to continue our business. Once again, congratulations to all the new employees or all the employees with new positions. Thank you all family members and community members for being here for that celebration. And we're going to continue our business. I'd like to remind my colleagues, board members, we have a couple of items pending on the closed session agenda, so we're going to have to come back up after we complete the agenda here. So we'll go upstairs again. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the dates of future board meetings. There is a list of board meetings there. Next, I'm just going to mention the next 5, I guess, and then you have the whole list there. But the next one is September 10, closed session at 5, open session at 7. September 24, closed session at 5, open session at 7. October 8, we have a closed session at 5 and open session at 7. October 15, we have a study session, and the topic is student achievement. That open session is at 5 p.m. And October 29 is closed session at 5, open session at 7, and all the meetings are in this room. Next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Katsiora, please.
I was kind of sad to see a lot of people leave, but I thought to myself, well, y'all are staying, so, I really appreciate it. Stephanie Myers back there, and, parent ambassador, and then Lucy. I see you, Lucy, and then, but I'm just saying, I was like, there's the lanes back there, and, I guess y'all want to hear all this, don't you? Yeah. So I just want to welcome everybody and thank you for being here tonight. And I just want you to know, I don't know if you remember when you got your first job, when you changed a job or something, like those people that came up here. There's some of them that was their first administrative position. And for me, that was in 1993. And it was in San Bernardino City. And I remember going there and feeling like I'd walked into this, like, who are all these people? And, like how you feel. But I just want you to know that felt really good, what just happened. And I think it really says a lot about our district, that, how much we care about people and what someone said we're a district of the heart. And so I just didn't want that to end right there. I mean, Lisa, didn't you feel that? Yeah. So much of what you're going to hear tonight has been our mission statement, and our mission statement is that we want every student to graduate from high school. We want every student to go to college or pursue a viable career path and be prepared. Serene Manuel that you saw up here tonight is one of our student interns, and we have those all over the district in our Asterisk program, but we do give students opportunities to learn and work and go to school. And then we have our 11 commitments that we're very, involved in, and knowing our why, having good manners, listening to understand. And tonight, I want to recognize an employee who was, I get emails sent about different employees, and I want to recognize John Faranga. And is he here in the room? John, are you going to come up here? Okay, you come. And John is a behavior program specialist for the SELPA department, and he oversees, and if I get this wrong, John, you oversee all the non-public school children, right? Are you going to correct me now? Okay. Is that wrong or right?
There's actually 3 of us that do the
Well, you're
behavior
one of the
support.
people that
Yes.
oversees the non.
Yes.
You don't want to take all the credit, okay? The non-public school and the students are in the emotionally disturbed program, right?
Correct.
Okay. And so, I want you to know I got an email from a city council member, Victoria Baca, who's also a consultant and works in special education. And she said, Dr. Kidzer, I hope you're having a great summer. And this was July 31st, and I was having one that day. And she said, I'm also writing to tell you that MVUSD employee John Faranga has done an outstanding job in placing a student in an appropriate placement. I edited a little there. After a long search, John even took time during his non-working time to accommodate the school and the family's schedule. And John goes above and beyond the call of duty. Thank you for your support of our special education kids by providing them with excellent program specialists. And, I didn't know you that well, but John happens to be a student of mine right now in a class I teach. And when I got this, I thought, well, he really is good. And I thought that in the class. But I just want to say how proud I am, because it's what you do sometimes behind the scenes when nobody's watching. And then you do a great job. And you do it because that's your why and you want to. Is that right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when we think about your leaders and accept the responsibility and the sacrifice, ensuring equity for all, because being a leader is not about the power. Leadership is about creating change, improvement, and making the sacrifices needed to get the job done. And to get a letter like this, and I sent this to you, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah. I mean, you act like I didn't do some of these things now. I want you to help me out here, and I wanted you to know how much it meant. But do you want to say something? Because, this is an awkward moment, I know, getting called up here for doing your job. But would you like to say anything or express anything about what you do here? And because, a lot of people don't know you. And, I did.
Well, we work, the 3 behavior program specialists, we work with some of the families that have the most struggles. And it's an honor to work with them and support them because they need something extra at times. And with the leadership we have in the special ed department, that makes it easy for us to do because they stand behind us and support us.
Did he get a certificate? He got it? Okay. Well, congratulations, and thank you for living the 11 commitments and for demonstrating that in such a great way. We value and appreciate your work. Thank you.
Thank you. So, you know, we can't stop talking about this, and, you know, I mean, somebody's going to slap me because I say it so much, but I just want you to know that our district was recently recognized in Orlando, Florida, and we were recognized because we're the Advanced Placement District of the Year. And for a medium-sized district, I also want you to know we're one of 10,000, there's 10,000 districts in the country, in the nation, that offer advanced placement. And it's special because 278 were honor roll districts, and then the College Board chose 3 districts in the nation to recognize this year for expanding opportunity and increasing passing rates. I do want to say that the superintendent goals and outcomes in our district asked the principals at the high schools to work with their leadership teams to increase the passing rate to 40% or above. When we started that about 4 or 5 years ago, that seemed like that couldn't happen. Today, Canyon Springs is 44% passing rate. That's very high for a school. Other high schools are in the 30s. Is Mr. Swanson here? Back there, he left? Okay, I can just say anything now. LaToysha Brown, you're here. Your passing rate is like 35%, is that right? Yeah. So, I mean, amazing work is being done, and it's because of the principals, the teachers, the classified staff. The school really gets behind this. So I wanted you to see this video that they showed. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere, but this really demonstrates what's happened in the last 8 years in this district. And we are very proud of this accomplishment, and we have many more that we're going to do. But thank you all for making this happen. Moreno Valley Unified School District, we serve students from very different backgrounds and ethnicities. We have about 84% of our students are on free and reduced lunch. About 24% are English learners. There's about 3,000 students who are identified as homeless.
The majority of our students will be first-generation college students.
Our community is full of students who, on paper, you wouldn't assume could be as successful as some students who live in higher socioeconomic areas, but we don't let that discourage any student from enrolling in AP courses.
When I first got into the AP program, definitely the horror stories came up, that the homework is kind of crazy, the tests are really hard, and that you won't leave that class with an A.
I was extremely nervous to take AP Human Geography my freshman year. I wasn't used to taking a challenging course like that because now you're taking a college class. So that was nerve-wracking.
In the beginning, they don't seem to believe in themselves. I get emotional, but you have to believe in them before they believe in themselves.
There's nothing more exciting than having a student run through those front doors saying, "Mrs. Kerr, I got a 5. I didn't think I was going to pass, and I got a 5.
When you pass an AP test, you basically have skin in the game for your higher education. And the first time you pass an AP test, it's like, all right, let's do this more. And by the time you're in college, you're already ahead.
When they called me to tell me we had won this award, it was very emotional because 8 years ago, we did not have the kind of atmosphere that we have today here. When people, you know, like the College Board validate what happens in a community like ours, it is so uplifting.
One of our biggest hallmarks of our success has been the integration of all students into the AP program to do away with a lot of gatekeeping, ensuring that every student feels welcome, ensuring that they are in an environment that they can be successful.
When the students do ask, why should I take AP? I tell them, well, you gotta start thinking about the opportunity that we're giving you here in high school. I mean, you're taking college classes here, you're eventually gonna get the credit, and imagine how much time, stress, and money you're gonna be saving.
with these AP courses, I realized that we could be saving hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars in college. And I also feel like that has helped me to show colleges that I am ready for rigorous courses and I accept them with open arms.
Students need to understand that there's not going to be someone there every day, every second of their life telling them what they need to do. So I find myself as a facilitator and a coach more so than a teacher.
We haven't done our job if we just get them into college. We have to make sure that they're successful once they get there. Once you're in, how do you get to the finish line? And I see advanced placement as one of the tools that we use to get them to the finish line.
It's not so much about being tough because we're AP, it's really about being real. You know, what's your boss gonna say when you don't have this assignment due on this date? But the assignment was hard. Okay, well, you know what, that's life. With our mission and our vision statement, we're preparing students to enter the real world.
The AP courses that I've taken are really self-driven, and I feel like when I get to college, that's exactly how it's gonna be. I feel prepared for that type of environment based on the AP program.
I'm hoping to go to medical school. Now, when I go to college, I'm ready to take on the challenge, and I'm hoping that AP is going to help me, and I know it will.
Kelly Vera, aren't you proud of that? You want to watch that every night, don't you? I know. I know what you mean. So I want you to know, students, not only do national things, but this is a local contest that Vista Heights Middle School and different students participated in, and from Canyon Springs, different students, but there were 41 students that participated from Spain and China. And Autumn, weren't you there? Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, your daughter is one of the, you're going to be recognized tonight, that's right, yeah. But you're also the teacher at Vista Heights Middle School. So, I was getting texts from Esperanza RC during the event, and I was so excited, I wish I could have been there. And, but look at that, from these students, and I want to thank Mr. Holguin, because one of the things he did was he started getting students involved in speech contests in our district 8 years ago. And before that, they hadn't been as much. There was a few, but now it's more prevalent, and students do enter these contests. So we're very proud, and you're going to be recognized later in the program. I know you're thinking, why not now? But Ava Rodriguez got 3rd place and won $500. And she's right there. We can clap for her, yeah. And, why can't you have to, get clapped for twice, And then Peyton English got 1st place, and she won $2,000. Congratulations. And they are going to be delivering their speeches at the Leadership Summit on Thursday and Friday for the school district, because I said if they each got that much money for writing those speeches, we need to hear them. So we're very proud of you and your families, and thank you for putting that kind of effort in and just really championing what happens in your school and your community. And the other students, Ben Arcee, he participated, Jordan Spencer at Vista Heights, Amaya Coleman, Peyton English, and Ava Rodriguez. I said their names, but I just want you to know how proud we are of you. And thank you to the teachers that get the students. I know Mr. Cortez, y'all were there, and it was the summertime, and you're out there with your students. So I just want to thank you for that and what you did to make this happen. And then I want you to, at the Moreno Valley Chamber of Commerce or the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, I brought the student interns to talk about this summer with the Advanced Placement District of the Year. In our community at both of these events, they were extremely, the students just wowed them. They had never met these students, but when they heard them speak and they heard them talk about their aspirations and their plans, their college and career goals, they were just extremely proud. So I want to thank them for being there. And then I took them to a visit to Stoder Brothers. I don't know if y'all know this, Stephanie and Lucy, but y'all got $2,500 this summer. Mrs. Paz, one of your teachers there, Lilia Paz, 5th grade teacher, she went and she's also one of my students too. She went, because I teach them this in class, to go ask for things, and she went to the grocery store and she said, I don't need any groceries, but we need some money to start the year at La Jolla, and she got y'all $2,500. So, yeah. And they had a grand, and Marcia Locke, I know you frequent that store, and they had a big grand opening, a grand opening of the store, because they redecorated it for you. So it looks very nice. And I want you to know we graduated 104 students at our summer school graduation. They're always a wonderful event. But we're very proud of our graduation rate. You know, it's risen the most of any school district in Riverside County. Sometimes, you know, we're higher than the state, the national, and the county average in many areas. And our comprehensive high schools are all above 92% now. Valley View High School is close to 95%. Is LaToya Brown still here? Oh, 92%, yeah. And she's very proud of that, aren't you? Yeah. And you know, it takes a lot to sustain this, to get students to graduate, but it takes all of us helping make this happen, because 8 years ago, it was like 69%. And so we're very proud of this, right, Lisa and Dr. Sheffield and Patty Rucker and Shelley Crandall? Yeah. So these 104 students helped make that happen.
Dr. Katsiora, I don't think we were loud enough. I don't think we heard what you just said, because I think we talked about that just a little bit upstairs. But would you repeat that again about the 90s versus the 60s? What, 8 years ago?
8 years ago, when, you know, it was 69% overall, and then it was, like most schools had like 70%. And if you looked at our African American graduation rate, it was in the 70s. Yeah. And today, all of our student groups graduate at a similar level. We are working on special needs students, students with disabilities, and English learners. There are two groups that we're really working with, but they both increased about 15% in the past, 8 years. They're not right where we want them to be, right, Ms. Crandall? But we're working on that, right? Yeah.
So if everyone agree, yeah, you can clap louder than that. Come on. Thank you.
So this is a video, because if you missed graduation, I just want to remind you of these kids. And Kelly Vera, you were there, I think, and so you saw Stephanie Meyer, I think you were there too. Yeah.
On behalf of all my colleagues, the Moreno Valley Unified School District Board of Education, I want to congratulate each and every one of you on your graduation.
No one looks out into the world through your eyes. Your perspective is unique, it's important, and it counts. You need to know what you believe. Knowing yourself means exploring your core values, examining your deeply held beliefs, forming your own opinions, and recognizing that these things play a central role in your life. Build on your strengths. Don't be afraid to make changes. You are not the person you were when you entered high school 4 years ago, and you will not be the same person that you are today when you reach age 70.
I verify that the seniors here today have fulfilled the requirements of the Moreno Valley Unified School District. Please accept these candidates.
Thank you, Mrs. Arce. I accept the summer commencement class of 2019 after having completed all the state and district requirements for graduating from the Moreno Valley Unified School District. Congratulations.
Placing your right hand on the tassel of your mortar board. Move it now from the right to the left, signifying your status as a commencement senior of the Moreno Valley Unified School District.
Excellence on Purpose, shining brighter. I'm really proud of those students. Didn't y'all like seeing that again? It reminds you of the mission statement and how wonderful we're doing. So Thank you very much. Another area that we're working very hard on is our visual and performing arts, and another area, you know, Mr. Holguin is very passionate about. But it's nice when the press enterprise on their own recognizes our school district without any provocation. They just went out there and did this. And it was amazing because Canyon Springs High School Band, the Canyon Cougar Regiment, has over 100 members. Now, they didn't have that, I'm telling you, 8 years ago, right, Autumn? Yeah, it was, I can tell you, they had more instruments than they had children, you know. That's not the case today. And I want you to know, being out there in the summer in this heat, I hate to even talk about it because everybody wants to say, you know, they shouldn't be out there, but it's their passion. It's what they do. And the favorite part is seeing the kids grow as marchers, musicians, and as humans. And the kids support and motivate each other to complete exercises. But we're very proud that we were recognized and featured in the press enterprise for this. So thank you to them. And they were here today talking to our new public information officer. And this summer, we also had our Asterisk program where 177 students held jobs all over the district, all over the community. And this is part of our mission statement in college and career readiness. But, you know, they work here even now helping we get ready for the Leadership Summit. There's some that are on an extended contract. And because they are such good help. And, you know, the other night I said, y'all need to go home. And they said, Dr. Kidzer, we're not done. This was Sunday night. And Claudia was here. And I said, I wish everybody'd say that to me. But I just want you to know we're very proud of these students. And again, there's a video for you to see in case you haven't heard about this program. And tell your family members, because we do accept applications every summer. And students work in all kinds of programs. Right, Samber? They work with you over there in facilities. I'm Dr. Kidzer. I'm the superintendent of the Moreno Valley Unified School District, and I'm proud to share with you today a few things about our Asterisk program, which is our 5-week internship where we employ students that have gone to our schools or students who are currently in our schools in career opportunities throughout our district and community. That's what we try to do in these 5 weeks, is give students responsibility and to inspire them about careers they may be interested in and help them be successful. We just appreciate everyone being part of this award-winning program.
I think it's great and wonderful to get students involved early on to pursue what they are very interested in. I hope they get the experience of being around like a good work environment with good people, and then that they get further education in terms of where they want to go.
I think it's a great way to go out and help the community, and as a newly graduate, I could definitely use the money for college, so that's great.
I've been working in the Asterisk program for 3 years. So I started off at Old Navy, and at Old Navy I learned how to work with clothes, how to talk to customers. So I got customer service, and at the same time I learned how to use a cashier, I learned how to do a bunch of stuff. And now that I'm working at a mechanic shop, I'm learning how to change oil, how to change the tires. So overall, I could say that I have more work experience, and at the same time, I'm learning how to talk better with customers. So overall, you're gonna get money, you're gonna get work experience, you're gonna get a lot of pros from working with Asterisk.
It really helps me with my greeting skills, with talking to people, especially since I'm kind of soft-spoken and most people can't really hear me. And I think it helps me understand the urgency, like the word urgency in here, because there's a lot of people. I gotta make sure that they're attended to and that they're happy.
What they're doing in the store has been pretty amazing. It's been pretty amazing. They're being very focused, very customer service oriented, so it's been pretty great. It's been an amazing experience for us to actually just kind of have them in our store. They've learned a lot of different things, how to interact with our customers. It's been one of our one of our first things that we have been able to actually just teach them. So it's been great.
I really like it because
The reason I did it is because I wanted to gain work experience because I've never worked anywhere. I don't look at the time to wait until I leave. I'm enjoying the whole day here. It's nice helping out.
This program is really great. It's very beneficial, and I think overall that this is a wonderful experience.
You know, I think this is my 5th year having asterisk students here at Rainbow each summer, and I love it. Getting to know the kids, having them get to know our students. It's just really neat to see them interact. The asterisk students are so willing to learn and get to know our kids and their needs. And our kids are so motivated because they're young people, and they're like, oh, they can teach me how to ride a bike, or they can teach me how to color. So it's a great interaction, and we've so appreciated the extra hands.
On behalf of the Board of Education, I want to thank all the students that participated in this year's asterisk program. We are hoping that the experiences that you received with the last 5 weeks participating in the program have given you a head start in pursuing the career that you have been thinking about. On behalf of the Board of Education, I want to thank all students, the agencies, all the partners, all the businesses for giving us this opportunity to once again provide students with hands-on experience that will allow them to continue in their pursuit of a career.
Isn't that amazing? Did all of you know about that program? So Autumn, you were in the audience at the Lion King when it was at Vista del Lago High School, right? Yeah. And this is the first time the district has done this. And the Press Enterprise had an article about us in the paper. We did not ask them to come. They came on their own. And we're very proud of this, that they recognized us. And I just want you to see the incredible, look at Claudia Harrige's face when she's watching this, holding up her hands. Daryl Peden was there, but he was in the back, and I had to call him up. He came. But you weren't in that photo thing right there, but I know you were watching it, right? Yeah. And she said it was very impressive and they really deserved a standing ovation. And I agree. I was sitting there. I couldn't even believe I was sitting in Moreno Valley. And I didn't. I thought I was like at, some like the Sagerstrom in Orange County. I was like seeing all these kids come out, and they were our kids singing and dancing and doing all these things. It was simply just incredible. Maribel, you were there, weren't you? Yes. Didn't you think it was?
It was incredible. It really was.
Seriously. And we're just really proud of what our students did. And I want to thank Greg Solomon and Music of the Heart because they helped us with it. But it was an incredible program. We're going to do it again next summer. And then I don't know if you heard about our 4th annual Health and Resource Fair where we helped over, the number is different, but it's like, wasn't it like 2,000 families that came? Well, people say over 1,000, then I say up to 2,000. I think I'm right, yeah. And it was just amazing. I want to thank the parent ambassadors. Y'all were there helping. There were so many people. What a community that came forward to help our families. And since many of you weren't there, guess what? We have a video. So I want you to see what happened. Isn't that something? Thank you, Dr. Sheffield, your team, Patty Rucker, Lisa Broomfield, Connie Edwards. All of y'all were there, and it was just amazing what happens. Were you there, Miss Lane? Did you go? You weren't there? I can't believe it. You're everywhere, okay? Well, you got to see it on there, and don't you want to be there next year? I know you do. You're probably reading to somebody somewhere. I know you were. And then I want you to know that Lisa Broomfield had it. Well, no, I'm not there yet. I flipped ahead. But the students were recognized. We have a grant with Moreno Valley College, and we have a partnership with them, but we have a grant called TRIO. And the grant was to impact student performance in math and science, and the whole board was there that night. And all of these students spoke about their amazing learning that happened in this program. But without this grant, their impact and their ability to persevere in math and science would not have happened. There was one student from our district who graduated from Vista del Lago. She's already graduating from college, and now she's going to go to dental school. And to hear that was heartwarming. And so we're very proud of them, and we're very proud of Mickey Clowney, Grayson, and just what she offers to our community. And then Lisa Broomfield always has an idea, and so she wanted to take, during the summer, parents and parent ambassadors. Stephanie, did you go on this trip? Yeah, and Miss Vera, you did too. 54 parents went and participated in professional development learning opportunity for a whole day, Lisa, at the Museum of Tolerance, right? And Lisa came back and she was just overjoyed at the experience and what happened there. And you're going to do it again, aren't you? Yeah, it was amazing. So I'm really proud they did that, and we want to keep doing things like that because it builds community and helps us be even better as a school district. This summer, we're very proud of our nutrition staff. They served over, and you know, Susanna Lopez, you're new to our district, but you're really proud of this, I know. Almost 40,000 meals were served between June 19th and August 2nd. So that's a lot of summer feeding and summer eating, and we're very proud of them. Kudos to the nutrition services staff, and thank you for everyone helping with this. I know you were out there, Miss Lane, reading to the children when they were getting fed at certain places, right? Yeah, I knew you were. I knew you were in something. Okay. And then the school secretaries were here. We had a professional development day for them. The whole cabinet came down and talked to them. And we wanted to tell them how much we appreciate them for their dedication and their hard work. And they've had 2 of those this summer. And then we hosted a very special barbecue for our district. We'd never done this before. And I think every board member was here except for Mr. Holguin, which is rare. But every one of them made it, and you can see, you know, Mr. Peden wasn't in that picture, but you were here, you came. And it was really nice. We just had, Anthony Pipkin did it out in the parking lot, and those new canopies that we have for solar, they're great shade structures, you know, for tables underneath. And it was really nice. So we're really proud of that. We're going to do that again. We thank Anthony for that. And then I want to tell you about our community adult education. Please get people, more parents, more community members to know about this. But the fall session is July 22nd through August 29th. But we have so many new classes there, and we have career technical education classes in pharmacy technician, phlebotomy, Microsoft. They have other diploma classes available. But it's Pat Bazanos, Dr. Bazanos is the principal, and it's an amazing program what they offer them. We're continuing to increase programs there. Dr. Verdi just held the first job fair there, and he's going to do that again because that's where our community has access to computers, access to resources that help them. So we're very proud of that community event. And then Miss Vera and Miss Myers and Lucy, I want y'all to help because Mr. Johnson wants these stadiums full at these football games. So I've got 300 kids coming to one, and I want y'all all to help get people there. But our first community game is September the 6th, Canyon Springs versus Vista del Lago at Vista del Lago High School's new stadium. And then the next one is on Friday, November the 1st, where Moreno Valley High School plays Vista del Lago. And that's going to be at Vista del Lago's new stadium again. And then we have our games starting on August 23rd. And so we're going to have schedules out soon. So make sure you get out there and support these young people and our community because it's amazing. And we really have some wonderful teams. I don't know if you saw the Press Enterprise article today, but Valley View is predicted to be, you know, and this is a prediction, but there's 4, you know, they have so many teams in the league, but Valley View is predicted to be number 4 in a league that's very different than our other teams, and but they think they're going to be even higher. I was over there talking to them today, and I wasn't playing, but they were out there in the, you know, I want you to know they play out there and really they're dedicated.
Dr. Katiera, we do have copies of these flyers over there in the back.
Oh, they are back there?
Yes,
Okay.
please take some.
All right, so they're back there in the back on the table. When you go out, everyone get a schedule and choose a game you want to be at. Bring some people with you. I think if you wear this badge in there, you can get in, without having to pay. But if you want to give them a little money, that's good too, right, Miss Harris, Dr. Harris? Because you're probably going to be at Moreno Valley High School's games, right? Now that you're a Viking and you're changing your school colors and everything. I want you to know that Moreno Valley High School's is not August 21st.
September 10th.
Oh, it's September 10th. Well, I'm not to the next slide yet, but anyway. How'd you know it was up there? Oh, because of this. We have the wrong date up there again. So it's my fault, and I'll accept responsibility because I had different dates in my calendar. But it is, what date is it?
It's September 10th.
September 10th. Is that right, Ms. Brown? I'm proud of you for being here tonight and for knowing that. So it's September the 10th, right? Is it September 10th? At 9 a.m., yes. And Claudia's going to notify all of y'all with this, so don't feel like you got to write it all down and memorize it because it's wrong on here. And then Vista del Lago High School, and you don't even know this yet, Susanna, they want to have theirs before their football game on Friday, September 6th at the community football game at 6:30. So that's going to be really good to have that. And these are both 2 new stadiums. And we're very proud of them. All of our stadiums have turf and rubberized tracks and look beautiful. And so we're very proud of that equity that we're able to offer our high schools. And then I hope you'll join us.
Dr. Kessier, just one last thing. I understand the bands at each one of these home games are going to be performing, right?
They'll be out there, Mr.
Okay.
Johnson, and they're working on meeting your expectation of being in their band uniforms. But, it's going to be hot, so I'm trying to talk to them about it, But they're trying to get up the energy and the ability to withstand, with all that. But they're working on it.
I would just like to take a second to say how great that Viking logo looks on the field.
Yeah, that's.
If you take a look at that, but when you get out to the field, it's even better.
Yeah.
It's great.
Miss Brown had a lot to do that, and facilities
Yeah,
did
she's
too. They
fantastic.
worked collaboratively and listened to each other. And Miss Brown was out there changing colors all the time. And but anyway, and then I hope you save the date for El Grito. It's on Sunday. That's something we do in cooperation with the city. You can see our logos on there. We're one of the people that helps with this event. And it's September the 15th from 4 to 9. It's a free event. And then Claudia put this in here and said we had to put it in there. But I just want you to know it's hard to talk about yourself, but I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to be recognized for outstanding support to African American students and staff. And it's at Living Way Christian Church. And it's Sunday, August 18th at 10 o'clock. And I think some of y'all are going to come to that, aren't you? I hope so. And thank you, Lisa. And I was nominated by Dr. White, that used to be the superintendent here, remember her? And she sent me a text and she said, Dr. Kidzer, I nominated you for this because, and then she told me why. But I'm really proud of that, and I want you to know I'm proud of our district because this year, and this is not public yet, and now I'm going to say it, but we were doing preliminary data, and we've really emphasized equity and opportunity. And Lisa Brimfield's worked tirelessly to bring equity institutes to our district. But for the first time in about 5 years, our African American achievement was stagnant. And this year, there is a rise because we lifted those students. And our foster youth, they're the same way. That for the first time, Patty Rucker, they're rising. So we're very proud of that. And it takes a lot, and I want you to know, I was telling somebody today, and they said, because it's not public yet, this has all been embargoed, private information, but y'all aren't going to tell anybody, so. And then Dr. Verdi is having a job fair in his mind right now, and we need teachers. And so Jason Barney's back there, and if you know somebody that wants a job, he's going to help you apply. But we have 16 vacancies still, and school starts next week. So we need American Sign Language, a counselor, dual language immersion, English, math, resource specialist program, severely handicapped, Spanish, special day class. So if you know people that are looking for jobs, Dr. Verdi wants to talk to him, Jason Barney wants to talk to him. Is Maribel Escobar in here? And Robin Romero is here too. Hold up your hand. She will help you. She knows how to get you employed too. I mean, she knows everything to do, and she will streamline the process and help. Thank you, Robin Romero. So our Leadership Summit is going to be this Thursday and Friday at the Riverside Convention Center, where we talk about all the successes of our school district and all the plans for the next school year. We're very proud of this opportunity. It's a joint Leadership Summit. So if you're looking for people in the district, you're probably not going to find them that day. They're going to be at this place. And my cell phone is available, so you can call me. But I just want everybody to know where we're going to be. There'll be people here, too. And then we have an ice cream social. We did this last year. Stephanie Myers, you were there. Miss Vera, I think you came. And I hope all of you come. Miss Lane, did you come last year? And this is a community event. It's for everybody. You can bring your children. You know, don't think you can't bring somebody. Isn't it Mr. Skinner? Center. Is it Center? You can bring your family. You know, anybody can come. So I want you to know, this is an opportunity for us to gather before school starts. Miss Neri, I hope you bring your 3 children. And join us as we welcome the next school year. That's what it's about. And it's from 3 to 5 in LaToisha Brown's gym, and you're excited to host that, right? Yeah. And then we're still looking for volunteers for costumes for the first day of school. That's me as Captain America. Dr. Verdi is going to be Superman. And, you know, he's got a great costume, too. And then Miss Maddox is going to be, what are you going to be, a Grecian woman or a Renaissance woman? And then Miss Lopez, what are you being? Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse, So they got some really neat costumes, and you want to go find out where they're going to be, but we're all going to be at different schools. I'm going to be at La Jolla. Where are you going to be at? Edgemont. And where are you going to be? Sugar Hill? Towngate.
Dr. Kizio, I'm going to have to get in on this.
You are?
Yeah, I want to be a superhero.
Okay.
You could be Superman.
Right.
Got a great costume.
Claudia's going to sign you up. That's
Okay.
who takes care of you right there.
Okay.
She'll get you right out there. And
Awesome.
then Mr.
Sounds
Holgan
good.
then may want to do it too now
Yeah, I
that you're
think
going to do it.
Let's do it. Hey, you gotta set the bar high.
So the first day of school, everyone, is August 14th, and please register. And I'm really proud of Dr. Sheffield. You're doing a great job over there, and I want y'all to see something. She's having registration this Saturday. Thank you, Dr. Sheffield, for doing this, because I asked for it. She did it. I wanted a Saturday registration because everybody can't make it during the week, and it's Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. Isn't that right? 9 a.m. to noon. Thank you, Patty Rucker. Are you going to be there on Saturday? You're going to drive by, okay. So you could get an appointment, you can call, but we make sure everyone gets registered. I was checking today at Vista Del Lago. They have 1,800 kids registered. They're supposed to have a couple of thousand. So there's 200 more people out there that need to get registered. But I was checking with different schools, so make sure everybody gets registered. We have room in transitional kindergarten, lots of room in kindergarten, right, Misty Kelly at Ridgecrest? And first and second at Ridgecrest, yeah. Yeah, and I was looking at that today. I got some transfers, and I was trying to help you out, yeah. And so this has been our greatest year, and next year we lift to rise. But I want to thank all of you for making this the greatest school district, but also lifting with us to rise to even greater opportunities next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Katsura. Great report as usual. And I know you missed a couple of things, but we'll talk about it later. So we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, and that is recognitions, communications, events. So I'm going to ask my colleagues, should we go down? We have a couple of resolutions, but we need to approve the resolutions before we go down. So I would entertain a motion and a second to approve item E4A, resolution number 2019-2007, and that's Yellow Ribbon Youth Suicide Awareness Prevention Week, September 9, 13, 2019.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve E4A.
I second that motion.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hogan?
Aye, 5 ayes. That resolution is approved. Second resolution is item E4B, resolution number 2019-2009, PTA Membership Month, September 2019. I need a motion in a second, please.
I move that we approve resolution number 2019-2009.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hogan?
Aye, 5 ayes. That resolution is approved too. So now we can go down for presenting the resolutions and other acknowledgements.
Okay. Can Patty Rucker, Coordinator of Student Services, please join me at the podium? I don't want to say I have the honor because it's sad that we have to actually focus on this, but this is Yellow Ribbon Youth Suicide Awareness and Prevention Week. Youth suicide is one of the most disruptive and tragic events a family and a community can ever experience. California is one of the leading states for youth suicides, with at least one youth suicide every week. However, research shows that youth suicides are preventable. It is a matter of awareness, education, and action. Moreno Valley Unified School District is trying to help by observing the week of September 9th through 13th, 2019 as Yellow Ribbon Youth Suicide Awareness and Prevention Week. This designated week encourages schools and community organizations to raise awareness about the issue of youth suicide and how to prevent it. The Moreno Valley Unified School District Board of Education is in full support of this resolution. We urge all of our parents, staff, students, and community members to join us in recognizing this very serious issue and to help us prevent youth suicide by raising awareness and tolerance around all people affected by this tragedy. So, Patty, I'd like to recommend you on it, please. Good.
Well, first of all, I'd like to recognize Dr. Kedziora, the superintendent and the school board. I'm excited about this resolution. Every year I come up here, I'm excited. I didn't bring my biological family, but I consider you all my work family because together we're a community to provide safety nets for our students. I'm excited because the awareness is out. The state has put regulations in that we have mandatory training. This year the kids are going to have suicide hotlines on the back of their IDs for grades 7th through 12th grade. So if they have a friend or something, they have something accessible. We're empowering our staff, our parents, our students to get help when they need it. Even during summer school, I got a call on someone that had suicide ideation. So we're aware, we talk about it, which at one point it said you talk about it, they'll do it. But I think it's really good that the community has surrounded us. We've got all kind of programs and assistance. So we need to speak out, get help, don't stay silent. So thank you.
I'd like Elijah Salazar, Ridgecrest Elementary School PTA President, to come up here, please. The reason I asked Mrs. Salazar to come up here is because we are going to approve a resolution. We did approve a resolution to recognize September 2019 as Parent-Teacher Association Membership Month. The Parent-Teacher Association, most commonly known as PTA, is a vital partner in linking schools and families together. They are committed to promoting parent and family engagement in children's schooling. Research shows time and time again that parent engagement has a direct impact on student academic achievement across all socioeconomic groups. The Moreno Valley Unified School District Board of Education is very supportive of our PTA groups and is pleased to approve this resolution. We encourage all parents and community volunteers to support district schools through the PTA by becoming a member for this upcoming school year. And so here's the recognition, and I'd like you to say a few words if you could. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Elijah Salazar, and I am Ridgecrest Elementary Unit PTA President for the 2019-2020 school year. On behalf of our PTA, we'd like to thank the Moreno Valley School District for the support and recognition for all the hard work our PTA volunteers do each and every day. Altogether, it is very heartwarming to be recognized as something that we do very well in the community and do spend a lot of our time just trying to come up with events and how are we going to help the community out. So once again, thank you very much for this recognition.
Good evening. It is my honor tonight to introduce you to our two winners of the International Speech Contest. So I'm going to ask their principal, Mr. Mark Hassan, to please come on up from Vista Heights Middle School. I'm going to ask the teacher coach to please come up, Mrs. Autumn Earl Rodriguez, who also happens to be a parent of one of the students. And I'm also going to ask Peyton English to come on up and Ava Rodriguez to please come on up. I think you heard this evening in the superintendent's report that these two students took top honors in this International Youth Leadership Conference that was held at Cal Baptist University July 15th through the 17th. So Peyton English, raise your hand, Peyton. She took first place and earned, and I had to read this twice, $2,000. And also very proud of Ava Rodriguez, who's an 8th grader. She took third place with $500. And since this was an international contest, it not only had students from the United States, but also from China and Spain. So internationally, these are winners from really around the world. Congratulations to the students, to their parents, to their teachers, and to their principal. Can we hear it for our winners tonight?
Hi, I'm going to bogart the microphone. I'm Autumn Rodriguez, drama teacher from Vista Heights. And one of the things I wanted to mention was that we are new to the speech format, and we did really well at the Corona Norco earlier this year. And when we came out as the overall middle school winner this year, our teacher, Mr. Cortez, approached the board and Mrs. Arce and said, hey, we heard about this speech contest, but it's $300 per student. But we believe we have winners on our campus. And so our students would not have been able to do this leadership conference if it wasn't for the support of our district. And I really want to take a stand because I have a husband that works in a different district, and they don't have the same support that our kids have. Peyton also was got to go to National History Day in DC because of support of our school board in our district. So because of the outstanding support that you all give us, we do our return by giving you these young ladies and the wonderful students. And another great thing I want to say to President Holguin, with his support of the VAPA program, as a drama and choir teacher, 4 out of the 5 students that participated were actually drama students. And to show how the two arts combine, you have writers and you have speakers, and if you support both aspects, you get winners. And it's not just about winning, but you get beautiful leaders. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Kelly and your PTA parents, please come on back. We need to get a picture with you. Anyone that's in PTA. And if you would like to join Thank you, guys. Any PTA want to join the PTA?
So where is she? Here she's going to go. Elijah. Okay. You're the PTA president this year. You're taking her place. I'm in the district. Okay, that's okay. Come on in, LaDonna Jansen. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Susanna, can you come to the side? Come to the front.
Someone's trying to hide.
Come on, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you. Now they want to shake y'all's hands. All of y'all. So they want to tell you how much they appreciate it.
This way.
They love it. And you know, y'all
Of course. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do.
I didn't stop by one day.
Thank you for what Vice President Thank you for what you do. Really appreciate it. Thank you for what you do.
I'm the district. I'm the advocacy chair. I am for the whole.
Thank you for recognizing our students this evening. Thank you.
Let's take a 5 minutes break. 5-minute break. So we'll come back at 9:50. I mean, sorry, 8:50. 8:50. No. 5 minutes, 8:50.
Well, all right.
Okay, are we ready? Let's continue our business. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next item on the agenda. If I can have your attention, please. It is on. Yeah, can I have your attention, please? We're gonna continue the meeting. Yeah. Thank you. We're gonna move on to the next item on the agenda, and that is staff responses to public comments made at previous meetings. Dr. Katsura.
Thank you, Mr. Holguin. At the July 16th board meeting, Mike Arizia, am I saying his name right? Ariza, representative from NPG Asphalt, asked for the district to pull the bid and rebid the project. He asked that the bid documents be set up to award on-unit pricing only. He stated that the documents were questionable based on left and right interpretations. He stated that the district would be spending more money by awarding the bid the way it currently was structured. Purchasing worked closely with M&O director and maintenance supervisors to identify the needs for the district in regards to asphalt and concrete, and based on the needs, the hypothetical project was created. The bid documents, stated the following. The one thing I have additional information that I'm going to put in a Friday memo to you, but I do want the board to be reassured, and I want to thank Susanna Lopez for your thorough documentation of this and assistance with this, but the award of the contract is the contract will be awarded to the lowest responsive responsible bidder by action of the governing board, and the lowest bidder will be determined by the total price for the hypothetical project. So I want to reassure you, and I want to reinforce that all laws and regulations were followed, and this was verified with the attorney's response to NPG. And so I just want you to know that we did review that, and we took that very seriously. And I want you to know everything was done as it was supposed to be done. So thank you for this opportunity to explain that, and thank you to Business Services and Facilities and Maintenance and Operations for their information. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Katsura. Okay, next item on the agenda is public comments on agenda items. Do we have any public comments? None. On agenda items, none. Next item is public comments on non-agenda items. On non-agenda items, we have four slips. So the Board of Education encourages public comments. During this section, staff may briefly respond to statements or questions, or may ask questions for clarification. The board may refer to staff or other resources for factual information. Direct staff to report back at the subsequent meeting, and/or direct staff to place the topic on a future agenda. If someone wants to lodge a complaint against an employee, the appropriate form may be obtained at any school or the community education center. Individual speakers shall be allowed to speak for a total of 3 minutes on non-agenda items. And the time will be shown on the screen. 3 minutes. We have the time on the screen.
They're bringing it.
Okay. Okay, there's 3 minutes. So we have four speakers again. First speaker would be Roy Bleckert, followed by Kelly Vera.
Red light. I'm back. Probably much to your chagrins, because I did miss the last meeting. But at the previous meeting before, and we had that, and I would really like to thank board member Susan Smith, because she did take up the challenge of saying something nice about a company in town, but it really wasn't directed at her. To give everybody a little brief rendition, I was challenged to say something nice about MVUSD. Dr. Kezidor was challenged to say something nice about me, which we did. But I find it interesting that when I made the challenge, it just kind of got drove by the, what happened. And I will say this, because Mr. Holguin mentioned the tragedy of where 31 people lost their lives. It was mentioned in the reports and the awards of suicide rates being up, and a lot of things going on. You know, we should really look. I've had Dr. Adrian Moore of the Reason Foundation and from this area talking about these things and education and what we should be doing and what we should be looking at. Cal State University of San Diego professor Dr. Gene Twenge, who's done a lot of research on the generations that are coming up and the problems and conditions we've had. I put statistics of what this district was. The main reason, because that's what this district could become. And if it does, it will benefit this community like we were when I showed you the statistics, when this area was #1 in economic and education demographics across the board. Sometimes we look at things or we see that or there's perceptions out there. But sometimes they're not true. Sometimes that's why we put them out there, so people can see the light. I've done it a lot. I've led a lot of teams. I've done things to give people, and I will tell you, the #1 thing you can give anyone is confidence. You put that confidence in there, and you put mountains in front of them, and they will knock it down. Sometimes you have to step back, look, and what is the best way overall to do it? And when you open those doors, nothing that you will see could be accomplished. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Kelly Vera, followed by Alfredo Agüero.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Vera, and I am a parent ambassador, and this is my first year serving Moreno Valley Unified. Thank you. I have the pleasure of supporting 3 schools. I had 2, and I volunteered for a 3rd, March Mountain High School, Moreno Valley High School, and Midland Elementary. And I would like to share some highlights and upcoming events. So first at March Mountain High School / March Valley, hopefully you've seen our new mural that's on the corner of Indy and Russia. It's kind of awesome for those students to walk in and feel important enough for us to do something for them. I have a student that goes there, so that's the school that I asked for. We are applying to become a model continuation school. We are welcoming 2 new teachers. Daniel Ruiz, he is a product of Moreno Valley Unified, and he will be teaching math. And we are also welcoming Miss Bongo, and she'll be joining our team all the way from the Kingdom of Bahrain, where she served with the DoD for 4.5 years. And she will be our Cal Safe teacher. Our back to school night is August 29th, and we would love for you guys to be there. And we're hoping to start a student council and having these students meet with the principal administrators every 3 weeks. Midland Elementary, our biggest goal this year is to build and maintain an APAC. We have seen the success of Moreno Valley Unified's town hall meetings, and we're hoping to do that in our school as well, so we could utilize our community and our parents' voices and ideas. At Moreno Valley High School, we were recipients of the Partnership for the 21st Century Learning in 2019. We have over 200 students enrolled in our dual programs, such as administration, homeland security, college-level English, social science, and math. We'll be offering STEAM after-school programs that will include gaming, coding, and competitive robotics. To start their high school career off great, we provided our incoming freshmen with swag bags. It was kind of my idea, but we were able to get it going. I brought my family. We stuffed 635 backpacks for our incoming freshmen, and in them was folders, school supplies, and snacks. I kind of stalked some kids afterwards, and they said it was a good idea, and they liked them, so I think it was a win. And we would like to invite you all to come to our back to school night on August 28th, so you could come check out our completed modernization projects, our M&N building, and then our first home game, August 30th, and you could see our new stadium. Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, next speaker, thank you. Next speaker, Alfredo Agüero, followed by Tina Marquez.
Buenas noches. Good evening, everybody. The reason for me to be here first is to say welcome and congratulations for your new position.
Can you do?
You know what? Yes. Yes. I think I'm gonna do it in Spanish because it's a problem we had when we are in home. It's a lot of people who doesn't understand what happened here. I think we have to start thinking to put subtitles or something on the screen because.
Okay, you have 6 minutes with the translation.
Buenas noches.
Good evening.
La razón por la que estoy aquí es para felicitar al señor Daryl Pitting.
I'm here to congratulate Daryl Pitting
por la posición en que está tomando, muy importante para nosotros en la comunidad como nuevo miembro del board.
As he's taking his new position as a community and as part of the community as a board member.
No le voy a desear buena suerte porque eso es para las personas que esperan que pasen cosas.
I'm not going to wish you good luck because that's for people that they're hoping for things to happen.
Le voy a desear que lo mejor en todo lo que él está haciendo porque es una persona que busca resultados en lo que hace.
I'm going to just tell you that you're a person that gets results.
Congratulations. La segunda cosa por la que estoy aquí
The second thing that I'm here for
es para darle gracias a todos los que nos están apoyando con los eventos de educación especial.
is for all the people that are supporting special education.
Al señor Kesidora,
Mr. Kisidora,
Miss Maddox, Miss Sherry Crandall.
Sherry,
she lives.
Okay, she already left.
Pero todo es porque estamos trabajando y este es el tercer año que vamos a estar con los eventos.
This is our third year doing events.
Y todo lo que está pasando son cosas positivas. Los padres están llegando a los eventos.
And everything that's happened is positive. Our parents are participating to the events.
Y estamos viendo que los padres están sabiendo cómo llevar las reuniones de IEP para poder abogar por sus hijos.
And we're also seeing that the parents are able to advocate for themselves during IEPs.
Pues esa es la razón por la cual estamos trabajando en esto.
And that's the reason we're doing this and we're working on it.
Esperamos que en futuro
we hope in the future
tengamos una mejor relación con los padres, con los maestros y con todos los administradores de educación especial.
So we hope in the future that we have a better relationship with the parents, the teachers, and the educators.
No podemos decir que todo lo que ha pasado es malo porque lo malo es lo que nos tiene trabajando.
I cannot say that everything that has happened is bad because bad things, the things that are, it just works to do or things to fix.
Esto es la razón por la cual estoy aquí.
And that's the reason I'm here.
Queremos que el distrito apoye a los padres cuando van a pedir ayuda. Necesitamos mejores servicios.
So whenever parents request services, we would like the district to provide services.
Necesitamos que ellos sepan a quién acercarse para poder recibir esos servicios.
And we want the parents to know where to get resources in case they need them.
He hablado con padres de familia y están preocupados por la situación que está pasando con la administración que tenemos.
I have spoken to some of the parents and they're concerned with the new administration that
Muchos tienen temor hasta de acercarse al distrito a pedir ayuda por sus hijos por esa situación.
And a lot of them are concerned or afraid to reach out to the district for help.
Quisiéramos que pudiéramos sentarnos a platicar de qué manera podemos ayudar a estos padres.
I would like to request a meeting so that we can talk how we can help these parents.
Sabemos que cuando tenemos un problema voy a entrar más directamente, el problema cuando no tenemos documentos.
It's sometimes when we have situations like, for example, we're undocumented.
No nos sentimos con la confianza de llegar a pedir los recursos para nuestros hijos.
That we lack the confidence to ask for resources for our kids.
Entonces esa es una de las áreas que quisiera que si nos podemos sentar a platicar cómo podemos hacerle para poder ayudar a nuestra comunidad.
So that's one of the areas that we need to work to help our communities.
Es todo lo que tengo por decir. Espero que si hay alguna manera que nos podemos sentar, si nos ponemos a hacer, se me deja saber y podemos hacer una reunión.
So that's all I want to say. I would like to schedule a meeting or have a one-to-one or in seat and talk about the situation. And you can reach out to me.
Muchas gracias. Felicidades.
Many thanks and congratulations.
Thank you. Last speaker, Tina Marquez.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Quisiera. My name is Tina Marquez. I'm a parent ambassador for the school district. I just want to highlight this summer. This summer has been really, really busy for all parents and for all students. I want to mention that the most famous was the Superintendent's Summer Arts Academy. Not just the kids got engaged into the music and art, but just the parents. I had the feedback for the parents. I went to see the play, and I always like to talk to the parents, and they really were amazed how got together and they had the opportunity to engage themselves into this play that actually felt like they were acting. So they're looking forward for next year. The next thing I want to also highlight is that we have the STEAM summer camp in different schools. We have the cyber camp at Moreno Valley College, which is what's amazing for the kids too. They'll have a bands. This time they had a bands and they have no advanced students. So my son had the opportunity to go again, and that's amazing for, as a parent, I'm really amazed with the school district, what they're doing for them. Also, school starts next week, and with that, we're gonna get busy as well. Just a highlight for the high school, Valley View, we had the orientation on this last week on Thursday, August 1st, and it was amazing how the freshmen got the opportunity, the students got the opportunity to have a live high school learning. They were given information how it's gonna be their high school experience. And also us, the parents, we were given the orientation and we have all the information, what is gonna be high school, what is good. They assure us that they're gonna be taking care of our students, which was really, really good. And I just can't wait to start this new year. I mean, just going to the event, super busy. We had the leadership on this week. I can't wait for it. So we'll see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, but board members, I would like to ask, if it is okay with you, I'm going to try to move an item up in the agenda, and I'm looking at item H2B. Item H2B. I have a page number. H2B. 147. H2B. H2B is the authorization to continue recruitment for the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee and to appoint new members to the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. You get that?
Yes, we have.
Okay. Ms. Lopez, can you talk about this item, please?
Yes, thank you. November of 2014, the district held an election to issue general obligation bonds and was successful. One of the requirements is to establish a Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. In May of this year, authorization to recruit was approved. And at this time, we are asking for authorization to continue the recruitment, but also to introduce you to two of the members that submitted applications, and we would like to approve this evening. We have both of the parents here today, and so I would, if you allow us to, would like to introduce them to the board.
Okay. So you have two new committee members.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce them? So
The
that
first
board
one would be Melissa Neri, who is a parent guardian of a child enrolled in the district and also an active member in the parent-teacher organization.
Mr. Hogan, is it okay? I just would like for you to introduce yourself and tell where your children go to school so the board, I mean, I know you really well, of course, but they don't all know you.
So my name is Melissa Neri. I've been a parent at Northridge for 12 years. This will be my last year at Northridge. I have a junior at Valley View, and I have a 7th grader at Palm Middle School, and I've been involved in the booster and PTA at Northridge. I am the PTSA president at Palm right now again, and I just enjoy participating in all the schools. I'm trying to get my foot in the door at Valley View. I might be starting a booster there for their soccer team, so that'll be my 3rd school I got my foot in, so. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. We also have joining us Bianca Gillum, a parent, guardian of child enrolled in the district. Bianca, if you can come up as well. Thank you.
My name is Bianca Gillum. This is my 3rd year in Moreno Valley School District. I came from Fontana. I am currently president at Cloverdale Elementary School. I have a 2nd grader there. I have a 7th grader at Palm. I am VP to Palm Middle School PTSA, and I am now president of the football booster at Valley View High School, my 9th grader. So I am very active and want to be involved in my kids in the community, and Melissa here got me to come here. Thank you.
Just before you leave, just a minute. Is that your cheerleaders back there? Who's that?
That's Melissa's 2 sons and my daughter.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Congratulations. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Anything else, Ms. Lopez?
And so we've introduced the parents. We also would just like to let you know that we are still recruiting for 3 open positions, a member in the senior citizen group representative, a 2nd member in the parent guardian of child enrolled in the district and active in a parent teacher organization, and then 3rd, a business representative, and that would fill the 3 vacancies on the Citizens Oversight Committee.
Thank you. Do you have any comments or questions about this item? If not, then I would entertain a motion in a second to approve the authorization to recruit for the Citizens Bonds Oversight Committee and appointment of the new members to the committee as presented.
So moved. Oh, wait. Did you say that?
You go. That's right.
Okay. I move that. So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hogan?
Aye. 5 ayes. So the 2 new members are appointed, and I want to say thank you for your willingness to participate in this process. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lopez. So next item on the agenda is E8. Going back to the regular order of the agenda, item E8. It's the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee Annual Presentation. Ms. Lopez, can you speak about this item, please?
Yes, again, another requirement of a successful election is to have an annual presentation conducted by your Citizens Business Oversight, Bond Oversight Committee, I apologize. And so this evening, we have members of the committee here to present, and I would like to introduce our Director of Facilities, Samer Al-Zubaidi, who will introduce the panel and then do the presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. President Hogan, board members, Dr. Kudzura and cabinet, respected community. Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'd like to I have the honor to introduce the members of the Citizen Oversight Committee that we have here with us today, starting with the president, current president, Ms. Carrie Thin, the president of the Citizen Board Oversight Committee, and then the vice president, Mr. Adam Sinner here, and Ms. LaDonna Jemson. She's the board member. And I'd like to welcome the 2 new board members. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'd like to basically say something about Ms. Thin because this is her last term here and her last month with us. As a director of facilities for 11 years, I haven't worked with a president of board Citizen Oversight Committee, like Ms. Thin, as a thorough, detailed person, very professional in conducting her meetings and very detailed in the way she looks at the agenda, the minutes, and the items. So I'd like to thank her in behalf of you, in behalf of the Moreno Valley Unified School District family, and wish her great luck with her increased load with teaching at Redland University, UCR. She's ramping up instead of retiring again. She's ramping up again. So thank you so much, Ms. Thin. Appreciate it. And for this item, I'd like to ask Ms. Thin to give the report, her final report.
And if the members of the committee could join us up here now. Thank you. And Ms. Jemson and Mr. Sinner are also joining us, as well as our new members. Thank you. Again, to board members, the superintendent, and the superintendent's cabinet, it's my pleasure to bring you the annual report from the Measure M Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. As you have already stated, the bond was approved in 2014 with a 64% yes vote to repair existing facilities and obviously also construct new facilities in our school district. It's set forth in Prop 39 that we do have a Measure M Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, and our role is to review and report on the proper expenditures of taxpayer dollars. We also receive the 2017-2018 annual financial and performance audit. It was presented to our committee on February 21st, 2019, and for fiscal year 18-19, our committee held meetings. We held 4 meetings on August 23rd and November 8th in 2018, and February 21st and May 23rd in 2019. Our activities for the year follow all Ralph M. Brown Public Act requirements. We publicly provide our agenda, our meeting minutes, and any other documents to the public, and they're a matter of public record and available, obviously, on the school district's website. In addition to our meetings, one of our activities is to visit the construction sites, and we do that typically on an annual basis. And this year, our tour was on May 23rd, where we visited the 4 high schools, Canyon Springs, Valley View, Vista del Lago, and Moreno Valley High School, as well as Edgemont Elementary School. We were, it was a great pleasure to see all of the new turf, blue and purple and aqua and all of the other colors. It's very, very exciting to see in Moreno Valley Unified School District. On behalf of the Measure M Citizens Oversight Committee, I'm pleased to inform you that the district is in compliance with Article 13A, Section 1B3 of the California Constitution, and the current projects are authorized under Measure M. In addition, the committee has provided you with a project update, which I believe we will be seeing here in just a second. And thank you very much on behalf of the committee.
Thank you, Ms. Thin. And before I start the presentation and show you the list of the projects that we accomplished for the Measure M, I'd like to also recognize Mr. John Nichols from Facilities Department. He's one of the facilities family joining us here, and he's also a certified architect with the state of California for 30 years. So with that, I'd like to start my presentation to all of you. And this is the Measure M funding presentation for the projects that the district did and is currently doing and will do in the future. As you guys know, in 2014, we were able to get the bond approved through the community for $398 million, and we had 2 issuances so far. We were able to identify 23 projects that are eligible to receive state funding for the 60% cost of the modernization, and we will utilize our bond share to match it for 40% and a little bit augmentation to do a lot of improvements at our sites. And if anyone has any question about Measure M, this is a list of all the projects per task and the expenditures, and we will be very happy to walk him or her through all the details they have in their mind about the expenditures. And as far as the currently underway and new projects, I'd like to start with the project that I think Ms. Neary was talking about, which is, or Ms. Gillum, actually. Ms. Neary, which one? The Moreno Valley High School, we finished buildings M and N. The project was a quick start, quick finish project, and they started in June, and we are moving furniture and everything this Thursday, and teachers will get the keys next Monday. So we're so proud of getting, it was a full gutting of the 2 buildings to the studs, and we finished, we changed everything, walls, tiles, ceilings, everything we changed. So this was very aggressive, but we were able and successfully finished this project. We also, since we finished this, we're working on bidding and preparing to bid the phase 4 at Moreno Valley High School, which is the remainder of the buildings at the school site. At Moreno Valley High School, we opened bids, and tonight we're awarding some of the, most of the packages for the Performing Arts Center, which will start early next month in September, the construction of the Performing Arts Center. And these are some pictures for the Performing Arts Center, which will have about 625 seats, theater with classrooms for the drama, dance, and so on and so forth. And after that, I'd like to move to Canyon Springs High School. And tonight we successfully opened bids, and we have, for the 2-story building at Canyon Springs High School, and we will award all the packages tonight for the Canyon Springs High School 2-story, and the construction will start as as early as September 4th, and then from there we will do the multi-purpose room, the kitchen, the modernizations. It will undergo a huge construction program, Canyon Springs High School. These are some pictures for the 2-story building at Canyon, and this is a picture for the administration reconfiguration of the school site after its finished modernization. We also finished discussion about the preliminary design for the Valley View High School 2-story building, and the location of the 2-story building. Actually, Dr. Kudziora, he has a brilliant idea to move that and put it where you can see it now. And we are actually reconfiguring the parking, and because of that reconfiguration, we're gaining about 200 student parking stalls. So we're so proud of the new plan, and we are going to start construction at the gym next summer at the Valley View High School, as well as the gym at the Canyon as well. These are some pictures for the 2-story building at Valley View High School, the 2-story that I just talked about, some renderings. And proudly, appreciate the effort of all the people who participated with us in the design meetings for the new Moreno Elementary School site replacement. And thank you, board, for accepting the purchase of the land. And we started the design meetings for that in new replacement sites. We finished 3 design meetings so far, and we're going to the 4th one. We also are talking to the city and other agencies in terms of the design components, and this is some sort of a quick rendering for the school site from outside, a 3D bird eye view, as well as the building layout, and everything is going to be encompassed in one building, which is very energy efficient approach, and it will be very nice when it gets done. We also finished 5 site security entrances, provided vestibules for these 5 elementary schools to allow parents to check with the administration building. So they check with the admin staff first before they get buzzed into the site, instead of just cruising right into the site and walking. So 5 elementary schools, we finished them. We're in the process of replacing all the chain link fence for the elementary schools, except a couple of them. So we finished about 4 or 5 schools. We replaced all the chain link fence around it. Instead of 6 feet existing chain link fence, we're doing an 8 feet high with a 1-inch mesh, make it hard for people to climb it. So that's a safety measure, an improvement for all the elementary school and safety of our kids. So these are two safety measures that I just mentioned, the vestibules we created at the elementary schools and the fencing. We're very proud of the fields. We finished, this was a very aggressive project, let me tell you. A 12-month project, we finished it in 5 months. Yeah. But I didn't believe it's gonna happen, but it happened. So thank you for all the people who helped us get that done, the design teams, DSA, the Division of the State Architect, our board had a special meeting just to approve the, so thank you so much. Thank you everyone for that project, which is great.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks a lot. So that's the Moreno Valley High School field, and this is the Vista del Lago High School. So with that, all our high schools have synthetic turf and track, all of them, and we're so proud of that. This is the Vista Height Middle School swing gate, electric swing gate, to help protect the overflow parking lot that we created for the Canyon Spring teachers. Solar projects are ongoing right now, and they're in progress, and we finished many school sites as far as structures, and we're in process with getting the power turned on by Edison, so we're still doing that. And this, for the completed projects, for the complete Measure M projects, I'm gonna go skim through it quickly. We finished 2-story building at Armada, 12 classrooms. We did Edgemont Elementary School, 30 classroom building at Moreno Valley High School, Serrano, 8 classroom buildings, and Badger Springs Kitchen, Mountain View Kitchen, Palm Middle School Kitchen, Vista Heights Middle School Kitchen. All these 4 kitchens completely redone with a new walk-in cooler and freezers and salad bars and everything. Canyon Springs received a new athletic complex, as you all know. We did the tennis courts, the softball fields, and the athletic stadium. The Vista Heights Middle School, we did the parking lot, as I said a few minutes ago. We did overflow parking for the Canyon Springs teachers at the Vista Heights Middle School to account for the missing parking spaces which we lost during the project of creating a new stadium there. We lost a few parking stalls, so we made them the same. Actually, we did about 125 parking stalls as an overflow parking for the staff, and could be used for the events during football games at Vista Heights Middle Schools. And then we did the Valley View softball and varsity fields in Valley View High School, and we finished last year the Valley View High School fields, stadium, synthetic stadium, track and field. And we finished last year also we put portables at 5 school sites during summertime, and was one of also quick start, quick finish projects. And we also finished putting security cameras at all our schools, all the district schools, elementary, middle, high, all of them have security cameras now. Yes. And that was completed, part of the Measure M. And last but not least, the Moreno Valley High School gymnasium improvement. So thank you so much, if you have any question.
Thank you so much.
I don't have any questions, but do want to say thank you so much for you and your team. You guys have done a wonderful job. I'm glad it wasn't me that put pressure on you. I'm just kidding.
It is the job. It is not you.
But you guys did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. I want you to know how proud we are of all of the facilities, especially those beautiful, beautiful football fields.
Thank you so much.
Now, we just need the parents and the fans and the community to come out and take a look when the season starts.
They should be able to come and be enticed to play on our fields now.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you all.
I have a just real quick just a real quick comment. I just wanted to take the time to thank Carrie Thin for your leadership on the Citizen Oversight Committee, and you're a true community service. And thank you very much for your time that you've spent to bring benefit to our community. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions on this report?
Well, I do have a question for Carrie. You're going to be working where now? Who are you going to be working for? What organization? Oh, I'm talking about the district, though.
No, I'm not. No, no. I only have one job now. Just one job.
That's not what I was looking for. Well, thank you anyway.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you again to the Oversight Committee, all the members, and welcome to more members. And thank you so much for this report. And it gives us a great idea where we are and all the great facilities and all the completion of all the projects. So thank you for doing that. So we're going to move now to the consent agenda. And before we take the whole consent agenda, we have already voted on one item, and that is item F3A1. I would like to pull two items to be voted separately. One is item F3A3, and the other item is F3C3. So for those two items, I'm going to ask for a separate vote. Ketos?
Would you repeat those two items? F3A3 and,
F3A3 and F3C3.
okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve F3A3.
Need a second, please?
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hoaging?
Abstain. So we have 4 ayes, 1 abstention. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve item F3C3?
I move that we approve item F3C3.
I second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hoaging?
Abstain. So we have 4 ayes and 1 abstention. So at this time, I would entertain a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda with the exception of items F3A1, F3A3, and F3C3, which have already voted. Need a motion and a second to approve the remaining consent agenda, please.
I move that we can approve the consent agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hoaging?
Aye, 5 ayes. Okay, next item on the, it's item G, action items. Item G1A is approved safe school plans. Dr. Katsura, can you speak on this item, please?
Yes, Mr. Hoaging, all board members have received a link, right, that you've all seen, the safety plans for every one of our schools. This is an annual opportunity for the board to review those plans, but it's also important for you to know that the district takes the safety and security of our children very seriously. And each school has a safety committee with their school site council that reviews the plans to make sure that they address the needs of the students within each school. And every school has different circumstances that require different items in their safety plans. One of the things we emphasized this year was making sure that schools had reunification areas where they could reunify with families in case of an event. Mr. Scott, I didn't see you back there, but you might want to come up here to the microphone and if you want to make any comments, because he's our Director of Safety and Security, and he's done a Herculean job of getting all 40 schools to get these safety plans completed. As you know, they had many other plans that were due, and Mr. Scott worked tirelessly with all of those principals and all those school site councils to make sure they met the requirements that are necessary to have the school plan submitted to you. So I want to thank you for all of that. And I also want the board to know that since Mr. Scott's been here, we have safer schools and a safer community because his work with the Moreno Valley Police Department and Officer Tejeda, and your constant collaboration and communication with the superintendent and the public information office. People get information quicker, and we resolved things in a much more expedient manner. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank
But
you.
would you like to make any comments about these for the board approves them?
Just to reassure the board that the Moreno Valley Unified School District is in compliance with education code, that every school site has submitted a safe school plan that's been vetted by the police department and fire department. So we're in compliance with the law.
Very good.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done, you and your team, since you've been here. You've really tightened up the loose ends that we used to have, and we're very proud, and we feel very safe now, much safer than we were 8, 9 years ago.
Thank you, sir.
So at this time, I will entertain a motion in a second to approve.
Clap for him, you know.
Yeah.
He doesn't get very many claps, I'm telling you.
Thank you.
I make a motion to approve the safety plans as presented.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peeten?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Holguin?
Aye, 5 ayes. Safety plans are approved. Thank you. Next item is item G2A, student discipline cases. I entertain a motion and a second to approve those items as presented.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this item as presented.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peeten?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Holguin?
Aye, 5 ayes. Next item is item G3A, variable term waiver for the English learner authorization. Dr. Verdi, please.
Thank you, Mr. Holguin. We're bringing forward this item in accordance with Education Code Section 44253.3. It's in regards to our teacher at Vista del Lago High School, Mr. David Wright, for the Marine Corps National Defense Cadet Corps. He's an instructor there. What this waiver allows us to do is fill this staffing need by hiring an individual who has not yet met their English learner requirement while completing their ROTC credential, which is currently embedded in the English learner authorization. So this allows us to bring Mr. Wright on board for this program and make sure that we are compliant.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, so I would entertain a motion in a second to approve the 2019-20 school year variable waiver request for the English learner authorization as presented.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the variable term waiver for the English language learner authorization.
Need a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Peeten?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Holguin?
Aye, 5 ayes. That item is approved as presented. Next, discussion action items. Item H1A, amend resolution number 2018-1934, membership in educational organizations. Dr. Katsura, please.
Yes, Mr. Holguin, usually we would bring this item at the annual reorganization meeting in December when we approve all of these, but we didn't have this one on here. And this year, 3 of our schools, Vista Heights Middle School, Valley View High School, and Moreno Valley High School were national honorees of 21st Century Learning Schools. That's what Ed Leader 21 is. And you were, I think it was you were in attendance at that in Washington, D.C., and who else was with you? Which other board member?
Yeah, I was there.
Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, Mr.
Was
Johnson,
it
yes.
Ms. Smith? Were you there?
Washington, D.C. Yeah,
I was in Washington, but were we, I don't think we were at the 21st
Okay, I
century
can't remember which
schools.
board members, but I was just trying to recollect, remind you of where we were.
Did you
But-
make 2 trips to Washington?
Yes.
Well, then I just went on one.
Okay. So 18 schools in the nation were recognized. 3 of those schools were from Moreno Valley Unified School District. And one of the things I learned while I was there, and I didn't know this, is we didn't have a membership. And a membership, it creates a network for our school district, and there are other schools in our district that want to pursue this designation because it's about the 4 C's of communication, creativity, connection, in education. And membership in this helps us give resources to our school district to help us become leaders in 21st century learning. This year we are revising our strategic plan that is also part of our local control accountability plan. And one of the things we know is we want to look at the portrait of a Moreno Valley Unified School District using the attributes of 21st century learning. So the district is very interested in being a member of this organization and bringing this to our school district, but encouraging even more schools to get this designation. So that's what the membership is for.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great.
So can we ask questions now, or
Sure.
You can.
how much does this cost?
I knew you were going to ask that. And
good.
Claudia, I want you to help me, my memory with that. $8,000. They have a pricing structure for school districts by their size. And so because we're a medium-sized district, that's our pricing structure is for that. And that is for many resources and professional development that are provided to our schools. But once we revise our strategic plan, they're going to help us with that, and our local control accountability plan. One of the things that we've looked at is in our revision is we want to have a portrait of an MVUSD student, a graduate, what they would look like when they get done with our district. And so part of this membership is helping us to develop that with our schools. But we want to make sure our schools are part of a network that it moves them forward, and it's about making progress. When I saw what happened at Valley View High School and Moreno Valley High School and Vista Heights Middle School and what you've seen happen, the things like the 11 students in 8th grade taking the AP test, that's part of global learning, it's part of the IB, but it's all part of a larger network of schools that are moving their schools forward. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to become involved in this. And when these 3 schools were honored this year, they encouraged us to join this network because we were not a member, and I didn't know that. I thought we were. And I discovered when we were in Washington, D.C. that we were not members of this. And Val Verde, and next door is Mike McCormick, the superintendent there, is the president of Ed Leader 21. And that's one of the things that makes their schools have some unique features. And we would like to make sure our schools are just as involved in this organization as schools that surround us.
I totally agree. Okay. Any additional questions, Mr. Pitt?
I mean, I'd like to, $8,000 to me seems a little steep. We have a long list of organizations that we're associated with. I really need to just have a better understanding of the value that $8,000 brings our district, as opposed to saying that we're not discrediting what you're saying, but I want to know that $8,000, we're going to get that value out of it. And this is something separate than what we're already doing in terms of our networks and things like that. So I need a little bit more discussion on the topic.
Also, I must say, I've never heard Val Verde mentioned at the Schools to Watch.
This isn't Schools to Watch.
No. So, we do belong to other things, and we do other things that bring value to our district and that bring recognition to our district besides this. So just because Val Verde is doing this doesn't mean that it makes it better than what we're doing.
I never meant to say that it makes it better. I just meant to say that they do belong to it, and they do. Mike McCormick is the superintendent there, and he is the president of it, and it does offer additional value to our schools and our principals in being involved in a 21st century learning network. The 3 schools who went through the process this year have achieved incredible results, and a lot of that was due to their association with what the name change this year, so this was a new name, a network for a Battelle for kids, Ed Leader 21. And, part of it was different schools, they would like to be involved in the network, and you have to be a member to continue in this. And I think it's very important, and I just know that our schools, like Northridge Elementary School, they're another one that I want to have this recognized as, but Hidden Springs Elementary School, Towngate, they have 21st Century Learning there, and it really increases the perception and the viability of schools, and to be in this part of this network. If it weren't valuable, other schools wouldn't be doing it, and I found it very valuable going through the process. I don't know if any of you were at the visits. I mean, were you at the one at Moreno Valley High School?
I believe I was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, you know, you're invited to these visits, but it's very energizing for the school to have these people from Washington, D.C. come and, you know, there's a rubric you use. It's another way for schools to assess themselves that they're making the progress that's needed for students and families to be proud of their schools. I mean, it's an opportunity that we haven't had, and like 18 schools in the nation were recognized this year, and 3 of them were from Moreno Valley. So I've already found, and we are already using them because I'm very interested in what they do for us as professionals and learning. So professional development is a big piece of it, but it's just part of the network that we want to become involved in. And I guess it's not. I'm not explaining it well, but
it's just
well. Go ahead.
I just wanted to see if we can get, if it's okay, can we get a precise kind of what we're looking at, that what this is gonna bring to our district for this coming up year, maybe something more precise, so I can have a better understanding of the value that $8,000 is gonna bring, and if we're going to be ongoing with this once a year. So you mentioned professional development. You mentioned the network, but I'd like to have a little bit more understanding what that network actually brings. So if you have that information, I'm interested in kind of knowing that specific list, so I can have a better understanding.
Do I have it in front of me?
Oh, I don't know. I know. I'm just asking if that can be.
Yeah, I can get it. I didn't know this was going to be. I didn't know that it was going to be like this on here. I didn't know, so it's my fault.
Dr. Kitsura, I don't know that much about what you just introduced to us, but this I do know, and we mentioned this earlier tonight. We talked about where we were 8-9 years ago. In order to get to where we are right now, we had to do some things differently. I'm not going to say I'm a tightwad. I can be a tightwad, but what we've done over the last 8 to 10 years to get us where we are right now, I think we made some very good decisions, and I don't think that starting today we're going to start making some bad ones. I think that if we can continue to talk through this, I think maybe all of us could understand and understand it better. However, I'll go back and say we've never, not as long as I've been here, and I've been here a little over 8 years, taken a chance on something and just blew some of the funds that we have in the district that's supposed to be for our children's education. I've never been so proud of the things that we've accomplished over the last 8 years in any degree or capacity or job that I've ever had, and I've worked for some great companies. I say great companies. When you work for PepsiCo, that's a great company. In the U.S. military, that's a great company. We took a chance 8 years ago when Dr. White and you came here on some things that was going to make us better, and I'm still believing we're going to continue to soar, as far as I'm concerned.
And I just have to say that as an organization that has a network that works for improving the education of students. And that network is all over the country. I think there is a lot of resources there that we can tap into. He mentioned professional development, but I can also say we saw some people there. We met several districts representatives when we went there, and some of them are in the area. Wasn't it Fontana was one of those districts there? And so just having that network, having the connection with those individuals, you know, within reach, or even if it is in other states, I mean, phone call or email or whatever, and tapping into best practices here, there, or whatever that is, and also tapping into strategies that are being used in other districts to improve, again, the education, thinking about the 21st century, which is, you know, a different concept from whatever we talk almost every day here. And I believe that's the value that you can get from these kinds of organizations like this one here. You know, professional development, resources, access to people, access to best practices, and I believe they also had some materials there. I can't remember, it was some materials, books or whatever, but at least the networking and having the expertise of the people that were there. There were also connections with other organizations, some sponsors that were at the ceremony that we had. I remember we were taking pictures and all that. But there were a couple of sponsors there. You know, you also have access to those organizations. So it's a network. You have connections to several people there. I think that's, you know, I find a lot of value in that.
Is there any way that, what I'd like to do, I mean, if it's possible and if it's agreed, I'd like to put a motion forward that we just table the item, come back with more information about it so the board can have a little bit more full information regarding this item, and then vote on it in the next meeting if that's possible.
You can put the motion and see what happens.
Okay, I move that we table the item until the next board meeting to have a further discussion, and if it's possible, the cabinet and Dr. Kizior can bring forward more information about this specific item, and then we can have it on the next agenda. Can I have a second? Okay, looks like motion dies.
Second.
Motion dies.
Okay, motion dies. So then the next motion is to approve the amendment to resolution number 2018-1934 as presented. Need a motion in a second, please.
I'd like to make the motion.
Need a second, please? I can make the second. So can I have roll call, please?
Can I say something before we vote, or do we have to vote now? Okay. I'm not against doing this tonight, but it looks like we do belong to a lot of organizations. Before we approve the entire list again in December, I'd like maybe to know how much each organization costs and get a little cost analysis. So then if we want to go back and say, okay, so we're spending $8,000 for this, so now we're not going to spend on this, and maybe balance it a little bit. I don't know what everybody else thinks about that, but I would just like to know how much it's costing us to belong to 57 organizations, and where that comes in. And I know some we have embraced fully and wholeheartedly, and they're really beneficial for our district. Others maybe aren't doing so much for us, so maybe we could look at the whole list next December.
Yeah, I agree with Susan, you know, because there's a lot of these I recognize and I know the value. There's some names on here that I don't recognize, and I don't know whether this is evaluated every year as to the value added to our district. You know, so I feel the same as Susan. I would like more information as to, you know, what some of the organizations are, and the dollar figure.
So that was my point, is that if your suggestion is that we come, you know, we do a cost analysis on the different associations
Well,
that we
before
have.
December, because we vote on the whole list in December, right?
Correct. So
upcoming year.
if this board approves that we join this new network, then we have an expenditure of $8,000 and then we're going to come back in December and do an analysis. We could be, I mean, depending on how the board votes on that specific item, whether or not we continue approving that, we could just be in that specific network for a few months, and there goes $8,000. That was my point of bringing forward a motion. So that we can see if this is something that the board, it seems like the board is struggling with understanding what this network is and this association. So my suggestion was that we come back with full information so the board can vote on that item to bring it into the mix of the different organizations that we're a part of, so we can have that vote, and then, that was my suggestion.
Well, just because you approve it tonight doesn't mean that the membership is up in December. That's our approval for our organizations, and many of these organizations do not run, you don't pay for it in December. It's a year, but they have their own time frame that you buy that you get the membership.
So for $8,000, we would get a full year from August to August?
So.
Yes.
Yes. I would hope so.
Not
Yes.
just the remainder of
Of course,
2019?
and I'm a little, I don't know, no, it's not okay. But I just, we can pull it.
There's already a motion.
We
You
have a
cannot vote
motion
anymore.
and a second on the
There's
floor. We
already a
have to
motion and a
vote.
second on the floor.
Yeah, I just, I guess I'm not doing a good job, explaining or sharing about it. I should have done it before. I didn't know that it was going to be an item like this, and so I just thought it was going to be.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second at this time. My suggestion is that we take the vote, and if it goes through, or, even if it doesn't go through, if you want to bring information for the next meeting or provide it at the Friday memo, I think that's a good opportunity for that. Is that okay?
I'm confused.
Yes, we have a motion and a second on the floor. We're going to take a vote, and I'm asking the superintendent can provide information about this particular organization.
You mean tell us
Friday,
more?
Friday memo.
Okay, so if for some reason we're not comfortable voting for it now, and option would be to vote, we have to vote aye or no, correct? But if it comes, I'd like more information before I could vote for it. You see what I'm saying? And so I would have to probably vote no.
Yeah,
that's fine. You can vote whichever way you like.
Abstain.
There's a
I mean,
motion and a
I just
second.
There's also an option to abstain from the vote as well.
Abstain, okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Vote whichever you like.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a
still
second.
learning. Okay.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Abstain.
Ms. Smith?
Abstain.
Dr. Locke?
Abstain.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hoagie?
Aye. Okay, so I just want to make clear, want to make sure I'm clear on this. We're going to get information, and then we're going to bring it back for further vote. Okay? Dr. Katsura? Thank you. All right. Next item, it's item H2A, approval of contract amendment with California Solar One LLC. Ms. Lopez, can you speak on this item, please?
Yes. July of 2018, the board approved the contract with California Solar, and what the contract encompassed was all 15 school sites. What is happening now is because there's different timelines for each of the sites, and for ease of financing, we're being asked to separate that one contract into 15 individual ones. It's only changing the administrative structure of the program and not the dollar amount involved or any of the terms and conditions.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, so we need a motion and a second to approve the contract amendment.
I move that we approve the contract amendment.
I second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hoagie?
Aye, 5 ayes. That item is approved. Next item, it's going to be H2C. Resolution number 2019-2006, intent to consider the conveyance of an easement to Southern California Gas Company for the purposes of providing gas facilities to the Moreno Valley Unified School District's Paris Operations Center. Ms. Lopez, can you speak about this, please?
Yes, CNG station will be operating in the vicinity of that transportation department. And so we need this resolution that would allow this Southern California Gas Company to actually take the pipes into that to be able to get the clean natural gas. And we do have our Director of Transportation here, Mr. Burleson, that can answer any specific questions.
Any questions or comments?
So how many gas-powered buses do we have? How many gas-powered buses do we have? 26, great.
Is that good or bad?
I think the more non-gasoline buses we have, or non-diesel buses we have, the better. Yes.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
I'll just say, for the record, I agree with you, Susan, on that.
Let's go green.
Okay, we need a motion and a second to approve resolution number 2019-2006 as presented.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hoaging?
Aye, 5 ayes. That resolution is approved as presented. Next item is item H3A. Approve second addendum to employment contract of Dr. Martin Rex Getziora, Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Verdi, can you speak on this item, please?
Thank you, Mr. Holguin. This is an amendment, as you mentioned, to Dr. Kedziora's current contract. We are adding an item in there, a line item in there regarding the terms of the contract. Primarily, what it says is that the agreement shall be from July 1st, 2018 through June 30th of 2023. We're also just highlighting a part of his contract that was already in there, which is contingent upon a positive evaluation from the Board of Education. Dr. Kedziora is eligible for a 3% increase to his current salary. So the board is approving both of these changes and updates for this particular amendment to his contract. What the term impact will be is that as Dr. Kedziora gets positive evaluations in the future, he will be eligible for a 1-year extension contingent upon those evaluations as well, just the same way that that 3% increase currently works with his contract language.
Any questions or comments on this item?
Yes, I'd like to make a comment. I'd like to say that during the evaluation process that we found Dr. Kedziora to be an exemplary superintendent. He does a great job for our district. He has a heart for our students and for our staff, and we love having him at our leadership and leading our district into the future. So thank you, Dr. Kedziora.
Thank you.
Any other comment?
I agree with everything Susan said.
Any other comment? Okay, I would entertain a motion in a second to approve the addendum to the second amendment contract of employment of Dr. Martin Rex Kedziora, Superintendent of Schools, as presented.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hoaging?
Double aye. So this addendum is approved as presented. Thank you so much, Dr. Kedziora, for your work. We're very proud, very honored to be working with you. So thank you so much. So we move forward to the next item.
168.
Item H3B, 2019-2020 salary schedules and classifications. Dr. Verdi, please.
Thank you, Mr. Holguin. This is an annual item that we bring forward to the Board of Education for approval in accordance with Government Code Sections 20630, 20636, and 20636.1. They are our current 1920 salary schedules for the current year. As part of our regular process when the district goes through a review of our current salary schedules and audits, we bring this forward just as a recognition piece for the board to recognize what our current salary structure is. There's no increase in salary or anything like that at this point. It's just a recognition of current salary schedules.
Any questions or comments?
No.
Okay.
I move that we approve the 2019-2020 salary schedules as presented.
Need a second, please?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Peden?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke? Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Holguin?
Aye. Those salary schedules are approved as presented. Next item is item I1, Library Media Assistant 2, job description update. Dr. Verdi, please.
This item is an acknowledgement this evening, Mr. Holguin. It's not a voting item, but just to apprise the board that the district and CSEA have updated the Library Media Assistant 2 job descriptions to better reflect job duties, including technological devices, their work with Chromebooks, with textbooks, and the like. There were several Library Media Assistant 2s that will be increased from 7 hours to 8 hours while remaining on salary schedule 15 to accommodate those increase in duties. So we were able to work that out with the association and are proud to just bring that to the board's attention tonight.
All right. Thank you.
Applause from the librarians. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, any comments on that? This is just an acknowledgement item.
Yes.
They're here. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
How many library media assistants do we have here? Thank you for all you do for our students.
Good job.
For the approval of the 8 hours, there needs to be a correction because Mary's name is wrong and her school is wrong. She's putting Mary Wigginton at Sunny Meadows and it's at Cindy. I'm sure, payroll knows what they're doing and everything, but you're trying to paper.
So on the one I'm looking at, I see Mary Wigginton, Sunny Meadows, so I'll make sure it's corrected. The one I have has it correct. All right, thank you, Rachel.
Okay, thank you. Next item, comments from board members and superintendent, and I'd like to remind you that we still need to go upstairs to continue the closed session agenda items. So, Mr. Peden, please.
I would just like to say, I think I'm just echoing what was said earlier when we had everybody here in the beginning of the meeting, that was a real true sense of community, and it's an honor to be, resident of Moreno Valley, and it's also an honor to have my children attend the schools here in Moreno Valley with so much heart for our kids and our community, and for so many folks that are starting with Moreno Valley Unified School District or that have already been here. And being promoted. A lot of these folks that I heard from today, have grew up here in Moreno Valley. And that's a true testament to the strength of our community, and it's just an honor to be a part of all of this. In addition, I'd like to say that I had a great time at the Lion King play. For everybody that supported that and made that happen, my children were there, and they loved it. And I'm looking forward to continuing supporting the performing arts here in this district. And that was just to echo what Dr. Kiziora said about the strength of that program, and really what that looks like from the outside is truly amazing. So thank you for everybody that contributed to that and made that happen. The health fair was phenomenal. 40,000 meals that we've put out in the community this summer. That's tremendous. That's big. So I want to thank everybody that has made that happen. Thank you very much for feeding our families and our children. I mean, that's a big deal. So I'll just leave my comments at that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to say welcome to all the new employees that we welcome tonight, whether you're new to the district or whether you're changing jobs. We are happy to have you, and thank you to the Human Resources Department for the great job that they've done in sorting all of this out and getting these great employees for us. We appreciate all of your hard work. Also, last Friday, I was here for the barbecue. People from all over the district came. It was a great team-building effort, and I'd like to thank Dr. Kedziora for arranging it and Anthony Pipkins for all the work that he did in making this happen. It was a great event, I think, for our district, and a lot of people had a chance to come together. One of the things that I went to recently, I'm trying to cut down my list, was the summer school graduation. It always makes me so happy to be there and to see these students that really had another chance, that didn't quite make it to graduating in June and had a second opportunity, not just to come in and pick up a diploma because they finished some credits, but to have a regular graduation with a cap and gown, just like they would have had in June. And it really does my heart good to see these kids graduating at this time. So I'd like to say thank you to everyone that arranged that. And I know that Esperanza Arce, I know that Maribel worked on this, and Dr. Kedziora and everyone, and I appreciate all of your efforts on behalf of these students. So thank you very much.
I'd like to also say about the employees. I mean, and commend, HR and the work that Dr. Kedziora did in getting some phenomenal new, additions to our staff. And it was really heartwarming to see the passion, it came through, how happy they were, to come to our district, how happy if they're already in our district, how excited they are to take on, this new, position. The thing I want to talk about is the TRIO student program we went to at the community center. And that evening was absolutely, I didn't know what it was. And when I got there to find out the amazing math and science projects that these students did, and the dedication not only for the students that participated and did the projects, from 9th through 12th, but the students that come back, and work in the program and what they've accomplished. And so, I love that, what they did. I hope that program, I know I think it's a grant funded, but I hope it continues and continues to grow. The barbecue, I agree with Susan too. It was great. It was to see everyone enjoying, sitting down, eating, preparing, for the new school year. I do like the idea of the celebrations and letting people know how valuable they are to our district, and something that goes because we have to work together. We can't function without, our classified workers, our certificated, our managers, our parents, our students. So it's nice to see that teamwork and collaboration. Thank you.
I'm just taking a look at my list. Since we have to continue upstairs, I'm going to cut some of the things that I've written down. But basically, what these things allude to is the work that has been done here in the district over the years, and especially this summer. While a lot of the kids and teachers probably were on vacation and things, there was still a lot of things that were going on for the benefit of our children. And one of the things that happened was just the other day, there was acknowledgement of students who went to school here in our district that have gone off to college. One young man, I remembered, golly, I must be dating myself. I remembered when he was in the 7th grade. I used to go to his middle school, and when I first started going there and saw him, he was taking pictures of activities and things that was happening on his campus. And then I went back a few times in the 8th grade, and he did the same thing. I got to know him a lot better. And then once he got to Vista Del Lago High School, we kept in touch. And today I think that young man is either a junior or a senior at a very prestigious school in Southern California. It's just amazing to see those children start off real young and so talented, and then they go on to schools like Berkeley, where this young man is. Oh, you must know you knew who I was talking about, right? Okay, but just I mentioned that because we're proud of all of our students that come through these doors. When I say these doors, I mean our high school and middle school and elementary school doors. But when you see them come back and you see them almost grown up, because we saw him on the stage and we saw how he carried himself, how confident he was, and then there was a line of other kids who had gone to school in our district. Quite a few of them are still in college, and a few of them have even graduated by now. I felt very, very proud and honored to see that lineup and how matured and how great those kids have turned out. So I tip my hat to all of the educators, teachers, and everyone else who work with those kids as well as the kids that we're working with right now. I mean, if you see them in preschool or something like that, or kindergarten, next time you see them, they'll be seniors in high school and going off to college. It happens just that quick. But the good news is that we know that while they were here, they receive an excellent education. So that was a very, very good night to see our kids up on that stage. As I said, I have this list, but I'm going to hold it until next time because I want my buddy here to get upset with me. So you see my whole list, all right?
Yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna go
see
over
your
it.
list.
So I'm going to close with a quote. This one was kind of hard for me to find, but I did find it. Education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and the world better than you found it. It's by Marianne White Elderman, civil rights activist. That's all I have.
So I'm not going to repeat some of the items that were already mentioned, but I just want to say, Dr. Katsura, it's a huge honor to be able to work with you. And since you came to this district, we have seen tremendous improvement. 8 years ago, and then the last 2 years as superintendent, what you have done in this district is just amazing. And the proof of that is that many school districts around the state look at Moreno Valley for what is happening and how things are being done, and the recognition. And you know, there were several ways that we can prove that there's improvement here in this district. One of them is the amount of scholarships the students received last year, and that's just one. The graduation rate, of course, is one. The dropout rate going down is another one, and on and on and on. And then, you know, this evening, so we saw several people, 13 people come into brand new position, or not brand new position, but new positions for them. And it was, to me, it was amazing to see, of course, the people that are already in the district, that were already work for the district and moving up to a better position. Of course, that is commendable because they work hard, they deserve, you know, that advancement, and they were noticed, and they, you know, they moved up. But the most remarkable thing to me is to see that other districts, which in the past we considered to be much better than us, are now, people working on those districts are now coming to work for Moreno Valley. And then the additional piece that I'd like to mention is that when, of course, I don't want to get into a lot of the confidential stuff, but in the past, I remember when we used to have these conversations that there was only a couple of applicants or 3 applicants or something like that. And today, those numbers are, you know, multiplied many, many, many times, and we have a lot of people applying for the positions. And that is a proof to me that people recognize the value of working in this district, the value of the work that is taking place here, the value of the educational system that has been developed under the leadership of Dr. Katsura. I am so pleased to be able to complete the evaluation and be able to sign the document and then approve the item this evening. I'm just honored. I think this is the right thing to do, and you know, I hope that, and I'm positive that my colleagues are going to continue supporting your work, and so we can continue moving this district forward. There's always room for growth, and I'm looking forward to providing services to our students as they deserve it. And you know how to provide those services because you know how to talk to people, you know how to work with people, you know how to read the students and their families, and you know what to do. And you know exactly how to do it, when to do it, and what to do so that the services continue being improved. And of course, the big piece of that is the managing your entire team, and you do an excellent job. So I just wanted to close with that, and I look forward to continue the improvement. I look forward to continue working with you.
Thank you. I just want to thank y'all for, approving my contract, and I really want to thank, the LMAs out there for being here all night. I visit your libraries, and I know you, and I appreciate you. And I want you to know when you clapped for me, it was thunderous to me, because it means a lot, because I do everything I can to support everybody, and I think you know that. And I loved it when you shook your head. You're from Sugar Hill, I think. And, when I go in your library and what you give to me, the support, it feels good, each of you. And that means a lot. I'm glad you were here tonight, because when you look out there when this was being discussed and see you nod your heads in an agreement, I just want you to know that doesn't go unnoticed. And I value each of you and everyone that's here. The man from WLC, I think you're from WLC. Which architect? Tilting Court. Isn't that terrible? I said the wrong one. I really do value working in this district. I enjoy serving it. And everything that I bring to it or ask for it is to make it the very best district. And I just am honored to get to work with you, so thank you. Good for him.
Thank you. With that, we're going to convene into closed session at 10:20.